Okay, so we are starting with
4.1
security.
High-powered demography mission. Why in the news? In his Independence Day address, the Prime Minister announced the launch of a high-powered demography mission aimed at addressing the challenge of illegal immigration. More on the news. Illegal immigrants are those who enter the country without valid travel documents in a clandestine and surreptitious manner. There is no officially verified estimate regarding the number of illegal immigrants currently residing in India. In 2016, government had informed that there are around 20 million illegal Bangladeshi migrants staying in India. Key concerns associated with illegal immigration and infiltration, national security threats, terror links, and radicalization. Extremist groups may exploit illegal immigrant, such as the Rohingya, for recruitment. India's border also faces threats from smuggling, human trafficking, and other cross-border criminal activities. Demographic shifts and social cohesion. States bordering Bangladesh, such as Assam, have experienced significant demographic changes due to the influx of illegal immigrants. A presence of immigrants may lead to ethnic-religious friction, e.g. threat to Assamese identity due to illegal migration from Bangladesh. Socioeconomic burdens, strain on public services, overburdening of welfare schemes, e.g. healthcare, housing, etc. Distortion in the labor market, displacing local workers and disrupting wage structures, often work at lower wages. Other, illegal settlers encroach on agricultural and forest lands, etc. Initiatives taken to curb illegal immigration/infiltration in India, legislative and policy measures. National Register of Citizens, NRC. Updated in Assam under Supreme Court supervision. Other, Citizenship, Amendment Act, CAA, 2019, etc. Immigration and Foreigners Act, 2025. Empowers authorities to detect, detain, and deport illegal immigrants. Border management initiatives. Border fencing. Floodlighting along Indo-Bangladesh and Indo-Pakistan borders. Comprehensive Integrated Border Management System, CIBMS. Use of smart technologies, radars, sensors, drones. Institutional and administrative measures, foreigners' tribunals, FTs. These are quasi-judicial bodies established through the Foreigners' Tribunals, Order of 1964 under Section 3 of the Foreigners Act of 1946 to decide cases of illegal immigration and nationality. Way forward. Measures to curb illegal infiltration, immigration, security intelligence strengthening, e.g., integrated intelligence grid, seamless coordination among IB, BSF, state police and local intelligence units. Strengthen border management, e.g., specialized floating border outpost, UAV monitoring in river stretches, etc. Enacting a national refugee law. India needs a national refugee law to legally distinguish between genuine refugees and illegal economic migrants. India is not a signatory to the 1951 UN Refugee Convention or its 1967
नहीं है,
protocol.
ठीक है?
Formal bilateral repatriation agreements facilitates the return of their nationals residing illegally. Other, involve international organizations like the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, for support in managing illegal immigration. Expeditiously issue national identity cards, NIDs, maintaining biometric records of illegal immigrants/refugees. Conclusion. The high-powered demography mission is a timely step to counter the long-standing challenge of illegal infiltration. Its success will depend on stronger border fencing and surveillance, faster foreigners' tribunal decisions, bilateral repatriation agreements, and robust national ID systems.
Illegal immigration के लिए है ये, ठीक है?
4.2.
आगे बढ़ते हैं.
Increased private sector. Share in defense production. Why in the news?
This is important.
According to the data from the Department of Defense Production, the private sector share in defense production hits record of 23% in FY 2024 to 25, marking third consecutive year of increasing private sector involvement. Reasons behind increased share of private sector in defense production. Institutional reforms or creation of Chief of Defense Staff, CDS, and Department of Military Affairs to enhance synergy within the armed forces and promote the use of indigenous equipment by the services. Policy and regulatory reforms. O Defense Acquisition Procedure, DAP 2020, prioritizes domestic procurement, opening larger contracts to private players and strengthening indigenous manufacturing. O Liberalized Foreign Direct Investment, FDI policy. Since 2020, up to 74% FDI allowed under automatic route and up to 100% through the government route, enabling global defense majors to transfer technology to Indian firms. For example, Tata Airbus partnership for C-295 aircraft. O positive indigenization lists, PILs. Imports of over 5,500 items are restricted, mandating domestic sourcing and creating assured demand for private industry. O Make in India initiative. This flagship campaign promotes indigenous manufacturing and encourages private companies to invest in defense production, boosting private sector involvement, e.g. Srijan Portal, industrial infrastructure and budget support to defense. Industrial corridors. Dedicated manufacturing hubs established in Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, with
UP and
incentives,
Tamil Nadu.
infrastructure and
Very famous.
investment-friendly policies attracting private sector investments.
प्राइवेट सेक्टर
For
के लिए
budgetary prioritization.
ठीक है
For FY 2025-26, the Ministry of Defense has earmarked 75% of its modernization budget, RS1,
Ministry of
11
Defense
lakh
has earmarked
crore,
75% of
specifically
modernization
for
budget.
procurement from Indian firms.
ओके
Innovation and Ease of Doing Business, EO, Innovation Ecosystem, IDEX ADITI. Startups and MSMEs receive grants and contracts to develop cutting-edge technologies such as artificial intelligence, drones, and quantum systems, fostering advanced indigenous innovation. O Ease of Doing Business measures. Processes simplified by extending license validity, delicensing many defense items, and implementing digital export
मतलब
approval
ईज ऑफ डूइंग
system.
कैसे बढ़ाओगे डी
reducing
लाइसेंस
entry
करो
barriers for
एक्सटेंड
private
करो लाइसेंस
companies.
की वैलिडिटी एंड सो ऑन एंट्री बैरियर्स को
Challenges
कम
in
करो
India's defense
डिजिटल
production.
एक्सपोर्ट अप्रूवल सिस्टम को अप्रूव
Production
करो
lag. Industry is way off the target set by the government
Challenges.
for exports. E.g., HAL losing the Malaysian LCA. Contract in Garden Reach Shipbuilders losing a tender in the Philippines.
फिलीपींस
Industrial and manufacturing.
बहुत
Heavy
फैक्चुअल है
reliance
इसको
on
यूज कर
imports
सकते हो
for raw
मेंस में
materials, high-tech components and electronic systems, limited production capacity and demand affecting scalability, etc. Dependence on imports, continued reliance on imported armaments, components and machine parts exposes India to supply chain disruptions, for example, S-400 delays due to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Technological, foreign original equipment manufacturers, OEMs, are protective of intellectual property and provide limited technology transfer, hindering local innovation and advanced manufacturing capabilities. O limited technological depth in emerging defense technologies, including AI, hypersonics, cyber warfare, and stealth tech, etc. Funding gaps. Defense budget still remains below the 3% benchmark, with over half spent on personnel costs, leaving limited funds for modernization and R&D. Dependence on foreign technology. Even with Make in India, India remains dependent on global partners like the US and France for cutting-edge technologies. Way forward, enhance and prioritize indigenous R&D. Significantly increase investment in defense R&D to at least 2% of GDP, matching global standards. Shift to absorption of technology, AOT. Promote joint ventures with foreign OEMs that include technology, sharing, co-development, and co-manufacturing. Focus on skill development and human resources. Develop specialized defense education, vocational, training, and technical skill programs aligned with industry and R&D needs. Boost export competitiveness. Encourage DPSUs and private companies to jointly bid in foreign contracts for stronger competitiveness. Foster innovation. Provide sustained hand-holding, funding, and capacity-building support to smaller enterprises to integrate them into defense supply chains. Vijay Raghavan Committee. Empower a PMO-led Defense Technology Council to oversee defense technology decision. Refocus DRDO primarily on research and development. Increase private sector and academia participation in defense R&D. Conclusion. The coming decade offers an opportunity to position India not just as a manufacturer, but as an innovator shaping the future of warfare technologies, from AI-driven systems to space and cyber defense. By leveraging its demographic dividend, deepening international collaborations on equitable terms, and cultivating a vibrant ecosystem of startups and MSMEs, India can redefine its role in the global defense value chain. 4.3 Sudarshan Chakra Mission. Why in the news? Prime Minister announced the launch of Mission Sudarshan Chakra during the 79th Independence Day celebrations. More on the news. The mission seeks to develop air defense system aimed at neutralizing enemy defense infiltrations and enhancing India's offensive capabilities. Additionally, the Indian Air Force is pressing for rapid progress on Project Kusha, an indigenous initiative led by DRDO to develop a long-range air defense missile system. About Sudarshan Chakra mission. Project Kusha, developing body, DRDO and Bharat. Objectives, Electronics Limited. To strengthen India's deterrent and offensive capabilities by expanding, strengthening, and modernizing national security shield. It will be part of multi-layered missile defense system of India. Aim, an indigenous initiative to develop a long-range air defense missile system. Seeks to develop long-range surface-to-air missiles, or LRSAM. Features. Timeline, mission to be completed by 2035. Comprehensive protection. It will safeguard India's strategic, civilian, and religious sites, assets, for example, hospitals, railways. It will cover all public places with an expanded nationwide security shield across air, land, and sea. Expected by 2028-2029. The mission will be integrating advanced surveillance, cyber protection, and physical infrastructure, safeguards. It will be a system for targeted, precise action. Indigenous technology. It will be entirely researched, developed, and manufactured in India. Air superiority provides protective cover for ground troops. Deterrence effect creates a strong deterrent against potential enemy aggression. Self-reliance. The mission will promote self-reliance in defense modernization. Conclusion. The Sudarshan Chakra mission epitomizes the blend of India's cultural legacy and modern technological excellence, reinforcing the nation's resolve to proactively safeguard its sovereignty. To know more about Air Defense System, ADS, refer to the articles 4.2, Defense Technologies in Operation Sindoor, and 4.6, Golden Dome in May 2025, Monthly Current Affairs Magazine. Related news. DRDO successfully conducts maiden flight tests of Integrated Air Defense Weapon System, IADWS. IADWs is expected to offer multiple layers of protection by combining surveillance, threat identification, and air defense systems. About IADWS, key components, Indigenous Quick Reaction Surface-to-Air Missiles, QRSAM, developed by DRDO. It is a short-range, 5 to 30 kilometers range SAM system designed to protect moving armored columns from aerial attacks. It is configured on mobile platform and is capable of providing air defense on the move. Advanced Very Short-Range Air Defense System, VSORADS, missiles, developed by Research Center, Amarat, RCI. It is a man-portable air defense system, MANPADS, designed to neutralize low-altitude aerial threats at short ranges. A high-power laser-based directed energy weapon, DU, developed by Center for High Energy Systems and Sciences. Laser DU can engage targets at the speed of light and use an intense laser beam to cut through the target. Command Center. Integrated operation of all the weapon system components is controlled by a centralized command and control center developed by Defense Research Development Laboratory DRDL. 4.4 News in Shorts. 4.1 Agni 5. India successfully test-fired Agni 5 Intermediate Range Ballistic Missile, IRBM. The launch was carried out under the Strategic Forces.
Okay, so let's continue from Agni 5, right? Sorry for that.
India's Nuclear Command Authority and is responsible for the management and administration of the country's tactical and strategic nuclear weapons stockpile. About Agni 5. It is a nuclear-capable surface-to-surface ballistic missile, SSBM, and is powered by a 3-stage solid fuel engine. Range, over 5,000 kilometers. Developed by Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO. Agni is one of the 5 missile types developed under the Integrated Guided Missile Development Program, IGMDP. Other missiles developed under IGMDP include Prithvi, Trishul, Nag, and Akash. Significance places India among few nations, US, Russia, China, France, with multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicle, MIRV, capable IRBMs. 4.2 Exercises in news. Slynex, Indian naval ships INS Rana, a guided missile destroyer, and INS Jyoti, fleet tanker, arrived at Colombo to participate in the 12th edition of Sri Lanka India Naval Exercise
श्रीलंका के साथ
Slynex
होती है
25.
ठीक है
Bilateral naval exercise between India and Sri Lanka started in 2005.
bilateral naval
5.
exercise
Environment.
started in
5.1
2005
E-mobility. Why in the news? Niti Aayog
Environment
released
पे आ
its
गए
report
ठीक है
unlocking a $200 billion opportunity, electric vehicles, EVs in India, along with the first India Electric Mobility Index. About India Electric Mobility Index IEMI, India Electric Mobility Index IEMI, a first-of-its-kind tool to benchmark states' progress in e-mobility, was launched by Niti Aayog in partnership with World Resources Institute India. It tracks 16 performance indicators under 3 thematic categories. Transport electrification.
WRR
Progress
के साथ
tracks EV adoption on the demand side. Charging infrastructure. Readiness assesses charging network development. EV research innovation. Evaluates supply side R and D efforts. The index groups states into 4 categories. Achievers 100, frontrunners 65, 99, performers 50, 64, and aspirants 0, 49.
4 कैटेगरी है
For the year 2024, Delhi led the rankings with a score of 77, followed by Maharashtra 68, Chandigarh, and Karnataka. About electric vehicles, EVs, types, battery EVs, entirely battery powered. Hybrid EVs have both engine and electric motor. Fuel cell EVs utilize fuel cell technology to generate electricity for propulsion. Plug-in hybrid EV uses both an engine and a rechargeable battery, etc. Status of e-mobility in India, unlocking a $200 billion opportunity. Electric vehicles in India, 2.08 million EV sales in 2024, up from 50,000 in 2016. 7.6% EV penetration in 2024, far below the 30% target for 2030. Key challenges highlighted in the report: challenge area, specific issues, financing challenges, e-buses, e-trucks, vehicle-centric challenges, high capital cost, e.g. EV buses, trucks, cost 2-3x ICE vehicles, making shift difficult for the small players. High EMI burden, doubts among financial institutions over repayment ability of small operators. Heavy costly batteries reduce truckload capacity. 15-year scrappage rule lowers resale value. Charging infrastructure challenges. Public charging almost 4 times expensive as home charging. 18% GST operator margins. Problems in getting upstream power supply connections from discoms, e.g., differences in fee structures for getting connections and in tariff structures for electricity supplied. Land constraints in cities' highways. Resident welfare associations, RWAs, perceive a safety risk with charging stations. Lack of collaboration between discoms, ULBs, transport departments, and state nodal agencies. Absence of integrated app for locating, book paying. Awareness perception challenges. Inadequate data and regulatory gaps. Confusion due to differing incentives in states such as exemption for permits up of lower tax rates. Weak, fragmented awareness campaigns. Misconceptions, fire safety, battery degradation, range anxiety, resale anxiety. Vahan database does not accurately capture data on different categories of EVs, making policy design, subsidy targeting, and progress monitoring difficult. Absence of unique battery IDs weakens tracking, resale, and recycling ecosystems. Inverted GST for manufacturers as input GST at 18% and output GST at 5%, which blocks the working capital, and input tax gets piled up. Steps taken by India to boost EV adoption. PM e-drive scheme supports E2Ws, E3Ws, e-trucks, e-buses, e-ambulances, and charging infrastructure, and provides demand incentives for consumers, buyers and users, to purchase certain categories of EVs. Scheme to promote manufacturing of electric passenger cars in India, to attract investments from global EV manufacturers and promote India as a manufacturing destination for passenger cars. PM E-Bus Sewa PSM Payment Security Mechanism Scheme. It targets deployment of 38,000 plus e-buses and ensures payment security for operators against defaults by public transport authorities. PLI scheme for automobile auto components. To boost domestic production of advanced automotive technology products, ensure 50% value addition, and attract investments in the auto sector. PLI Advanced Chemistry Cell supports 50 gigawatt hours domestic battery manufacturing, reducing imports, cost reduction, GST on EVs cut from 12% to 5%, Evolution as program, launched by Department of Science Technology, DST, targeting EV startups. Way forward, recommendations highlighted in report, moving from incentives to mandates, set targets for production of zero-emission vehicles, ZEs, impose higher registration fee, taxes for ICE, etc. Saturation. Approach. 100% electric mobility adoption across 5 designated Indian cities within 5 years, leveraging infrastructure development, fleet electrification mandates, and targeted financing mechanisms. Financing e-buses and e-trucks. Create a pooled fund from public and multilateral sources to provide low-interest loans for procurement. Battery research. Build academia, industry, government partnerships to accelerate work on new chemistries. Strategic charging infrastructure. Develop 20 key corridors, set up nodal agencies, map hub locations, and use time-of-day pricing to boost efficiency. Unified National EV App. Provide services for locating charging stations, booking slots, payments, and explore dedicated EV power lines. Lowering upfront costs. Promote leasing models for buses and trucks to aid small operators and battery as a service, BAs. Introduce a battery passport for health tracking, etc. Batteries constitute almost 40% of capital cost of an EV. Awareness and information. Launch a national EV awareness program, assess stakeholder data needs, and develop a comprehensive information system to guide decision-making. Best practices for EV adoption, China. 10 Cities, 1,000 Vehicles program was a flagship initiative for 10 pilot cities, each tasked with deploying at least 1,000 new energy vehicles, NEVs, in public fleets. Singapore established EVE Electric Charging Pte. Ltd., EVE, a wholly owned subsidiary of their Land Transport Authority, to facilitate the establishment of charging stations by coordinating with all the relevant agencies. Europe. ChargeMap app provides real-time charging station data, user reviews, and is integrated with navigation systems. UK, Advanced Propulsion Centre, APC, explicitly funds projects to bridge the gap between working prototype and commercialization. Faraday Battery Challenge, funded by public and sector, created the UK Battery Industrialisation Centre, UKBIC, a facility that enables companies to scale lab prototypes to production. 5.2. India's resolution on wise use of wetlands. Why in the news? India's resolution titled Promoting Sustainable Lifestyles for Wetlands has been adopted at Ramsar 15th Conference of Parties, COP, to Zimbabwe, with 172 countries supporting it. More on the news. The resolution aligns with the principles of Mission Life, Lifestyle for Environment. Mission Life is an India-led global movement introduced at the UN Climate Change Conference in Glasgow, COP26, in 2021. It aims to nudge individuals and communities to practice a lifestyle that is synchronous with nature and does not harm it. About wise use of wetland. It is the core principle of wetland conservation under the Ramsar Convention. The Convention defines wise use as maintaining the ecological character of wetlands using ecosystem-based approaches within the context of sustainable development. Contracting parties are mandated to promote wise use through national plans, legislation, management actions, and public education. India's approach to wise use of wetlands the National Plan for Conservation of Aquatic Ecosystems, NPCA, Integrated Management Plans, IMPs, outline strategies for sustainable use. India released a 2024 framework titled Wetland-Wise Use and Implementation Framework. Mission Sabagita and Save Wetlands campaign have witnessed over 2 million citizens as volunteers, enabling the mapping of more than 170,000 wetland. Other outcomes of COP15, Outcome Initiative, Description, Adoption of Victoria Falls, Declaration, acknowledges ecological, social, and economic roles of wetlands, highlights contribution to biodiversity, climate change mitigation, and UN SDGs, launch of Indo-Burma Ramsar Regional Initiative, IBRI, Strategic Plan 2025-2030, to halt and reverse wetland loss, Cambodia, Lao PDR, Myanmar, Thailand, Vietnam, launch of Bridge Program, grants on gender mainstreaming and women leadership, Freshwater Challenge, to enhance implementation of the Convention, endorsement of establishment of Global Water Bird Estimates Partnership GWEP. GWEP, established under Ramsar Convention, integrates data sources, build monitoring capacity, provide information for conservation agreements to combat the global decline of waterbird populations and wetland degradation. 5.3. Cloudbursts in Himalayan regions.
रामसर कन्वेंशन रामसर में आया था इंटरगवर्नमेंटल
Cloudbursts
फॉर
have
कंजर्वेशन
recently
ऑफ वाइस यूज ऑफ
impacted several
वेटलैंड्स, ठीक
regions
है.
in India
25
like
मिनट ग्लोबली
Uttarakhand,
डेजिग्नेशन रिक्वायरमेंट मीटिंग को
Himachal,
एटलीस्ट 9
including
क्राइटेरिया.
states
91
Pradesh
रामसर
and
साइट्स हैं.
Jammu Kashmir.
अभी 95 हो चुकी हैं रामसर साइट्स,
About cloudburst,
ठीक है.
it is an extreme amount of precipitation in a short period, sometimes accompanied by hail and thunder, that can create flood conditions. India Meteorological Department, IMD, terms a rain event as cloudburst if 10 centimeters rainfall is received at a station in 1 hour. Recent examples: Kishtwar District, Jammu and Kashmir, and Chamoli cloudburst, Uttarakhand 2025, and Himachal Pradesh 2020. Cloudbursts happen in plains as well, but are more common in mountainous zones as they occur via orographic lift. See infographic. Consequences of cloudburst: triggers, flash floods, dam breaks, mudslides, landslides, etc., leading to loss of life, destruction of homes, roads, and public facilities, biodiversity loss, etc. Challenges associated with tackling cloudbursts: climate change. Global warming has disrupted precipitation patterns, triggering more frequent, intense rainfall. OEG, every 1 degree Celsius rise lets air hold tilde 7% more moisture. Forecasting challenges. Cloudbursts are highly local and short-lived and difficult to predict. Satellites lack precision. Doppler radars give around 3 hours warning, but are costly and limited, etc. Anthropogenic factors. Deforestation, wetland loss, and unplanned development reduce natural absorption, worsening flash floods and damage. Way forward. Cloudburst Disaster Risk Reduction, DRR Strategy, National Disaster Management Plan, 2019. Landslide Hazard Zonation, LHZ, using remote sensing and different kinds of spatial data, aerial photographs, satellite imagery, along with local knowledge for accurate mapping of landslide-prone areas. Interagency coordination between central and state agencies for updating rules, adopting new standards, amending laws, and reviewing policies. Ensure effective early warning dissemination down to the last mile. Structural measures. Slope stabilization through bioengineering, plantation, vegetation, and protective structures. Maintenance and improvement of stormwater drainage, rivulets, and natural water systems to reduce flooding risks. Non-structural measures. Expansion of multi-hazard insurance for life and property. Application of multi-level safety planning in expanding and high-risk settlements. Integration of risk-sensitive urban planning, amending building bylaws to reduce vulnerability. Capacity development, strengthen ULB's PRIs to prepare and respond effectively, and encourage use of insurance and risk transfer tools. Climate change risk management, support and promote state-specific and local adaptation efforts. Conclusion. The recent cloudburst shows the urgent need for disaster risk reduction, especially in the Himalayas. The focus must shift from reactive relief to proactive resilience by strengthening early warning systems, promoting community-based adaptation, linking disaster management with sustainable development, and using technology, local knowledge, and good governance to reduce risks. 5.4. News Shorts. 5. 4.1. India's water management. Recently, Parliamentary Standing Committee on Water Resources, in a report, highlighted that despite significant technological advancements and substantial investments, India continues to face severe socioeconomic losses due to floods and water scarcity. Key themes and recommendations.
बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं
Themes,
है, ठीक है,
current status
थोड़ा थोड़ा
slash
देख लो।
issues, recommendations, flood forecasting, modernization and
Recommendations
expansion.
important है
Central Water Commission,
मेंस के लिए।
CWC, operates 340 flood forecasting sites
ये
covering
मेंस के
22
पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से
states
इम्पोर्टेंट
and
है,
2
ठीक है।
UTs, which is planned to increase to around 375 by 2026.
आ सकता है क्वेश्चन, आ सकता है वाटर
Upgrade the
मैनेजमेंट
present
पे, तो उस
system
पे
to address challenges in flood forecasting due to climate change. Interlinking of rivers program, dam safety, 30 link projects identified. Lack of consensus among states is a major obstacle as
ये
water is a
challenges
state
है
subject under
और
Schedule
ये वे
7.
फॉरवर्ड है या
Out of
फिर
over 6,000 dams,
measures है।
only 459 have emergency action plans, EAP. Dam Safety Act
challenges है इधर
2021 mandates
और
EAP
इधर measures
preparation
हैं,
within
ठीक है।
5 years of enactment.
3-4 लिख देना।
Conducts detailed studies on benefits of the awareness amongst the states concerned and expediting implementation of link projects. Projects enhancing National Dam Safety Authority should constantly engage with dam owners for preparation of EAP, rainwater harvesting and water conservation. Jal Shakti Abhiyan, Catch the Rain, and Jal Sanchai Jan
Dam
Bhagidari
safety.
promote community-driven water conservation and groundwater recharge. Increase of 11.36 billion cubic meters (BCM) in 2024 with respect to 2017. Dynamic Groundwater Resources Assessment Report 2024. Provide dedicated financial grants to states, UTs for rainwater harvesting, to for and boost and enhance support rainwater harvesting initiatives. Proactive and integrated approaches. New draft National Water Policy is under consideration. Cross-border flooding management initiative independent as coordinated between Ministry of Jal Shakti and Ministry of External Affairs. And ASI, inclusion of local MPIMLA in the bodies under National Mission for Clean Ganga to ensure more cohesive outcome. 4.2 Global Outlook Council on Water Investments. The President of South Africa announced the launch of the Global Outlook Council on Water Investments, GOCWI. About GOCWI. Launched as a G20 Presidential Legacy Initiative, it forms a core pillar of the Global Water Partnership's GWP Global
President of
Transformation
South
Agenda
Africa.
on Water Investments. OGWP is a multi-stakeholder action network and intergovernmental organization dedicated to equitable, sustainable, and efficient management of water resources. OGWP's transformation agenda aims to mobilize 15 billion for water security by 2030. It will serve as a high-level platform to sustain political and financial momentum for water investments worldwide. 4.3 Pollution Control Boards, SC in Delhi, Pollution Control Committee, VS Lodi Property Cumber Limited. Case overturned Delhi High Court ruling, which held that only courts could impose environmental compensations, EC. It held pollution control boards, PCBs, can impose environmental compensation. Environmental
SC.
compensation is a policy instrument for the protection of the environment which works on the polluter pay principle. Key highlights of the rulings.
पॉल्यूशन
Statutory
कंट्रोल बोर्ड भी
mandate.
कर सकते हैं ना।
PCBs can impose penalties for environmental compensation in exercise of powers under Section 33A of Water Act, 1974, and Section 31A of the Air Act, 1981. Polluter pays principle. PCBs can't impose penalties in every contravention under the Acts, but only when environmental harm has been caused by the erring entity. In Indian Council for Environlegal Action versus UOI, South Carolina held that according to polluter pays principle, responsibility for repairing the damage is that of offending industry. Appropriate course of action. Boards can decide whether a polluting entity needs to be punished by imposition of penalty, or if situation demands immediate restoration of environmental damage by the polluter, or both. OSC in Vellore Citizens Welfare Forum vs. Union of India, 1996, also held that liability for environmental damage includes both a compensatory and remedial aspect. Preventive or ex-ante measures can be taken by regulators. 4.4 UNDP Equator Initiative Award, Bibi Fatima, Women's
अच्छा, ये
Self-Help
इंपॉर्टेंट है
Group,
कि पीसीबी जो है तो वाटर
from a
प्रिवेंशन
small
एंड कंट्रोल
village
ऑफ
in
पॉल्यूशन
Dharwad
एक्ट
district, was
1974 में
one
आया
of the
था,
winners of the Equator
सीपीसीबी,
Initiative Award.
ठीक है. ऑल्सो इंटरेस्टेड द
About
पावर्स अंडर
UNDP
एयर
Equator
प्रिवेंशन एंड
Initiative
कंट्रोल
Award,
ऑफ पॉल्यूशन
presented
एक्ट.
by
तो
NED
एयर वाला
under
भी
the
इसी के अंडर है
Equator
और वाटर के
Initiative
अंदर
of
कॉन्स्टिट्यूट
United
हुआ था, ये
Nations
इंपॉर्टेंट है.
Development Program, UNDP. The Equator Initiative provides opportunities for indigenous peoples and local communities to address land degradation, biodiversity conservation, and livelihood improvement. It is also referred to as the Nobel Prize for Biodiversity Conservation. About Bibi Fatima SHG. The group introduced millet-based mixed cropping on rain-fed farms,
बीबी फतिमा
promoted
कौन है?
climate-resilient farming
मिलेट
systems,
बेस्ड मिक्स क्रॉपिंग ऑन
practiced
रेन फेड
livestock rearing and horticulture, and
क्लाइमेट
popularized
रेजिलिएंट
millets.
फार्मिंग सिस्टम्स, लाइवस्टॉक
5.
रेयरिंग, हॉर्टिकल्चर,
4.5. AWASA
popularized
Program of
millets.
Action 2024 to 2034.
आवास
APOA.
प्रोग्राम,
Third United Nations Conference on Landlocked Developing Countries, LLDC3, opened in AWASA, Turkmenistan. Conference serves as a crucial platform to implement the newly adopted APOA. About APOA. Adopted by consensus at the UN General Assembly in December 2024. O offers a comprehensive framework to tackle persistent development challenges faced by LLDCs. Key deliverables include O establishment of regional agricultural research, hubs to strengthen food security, O launch of an infrastructure investment finance facility to mobilize critical funding, O development of a UNFCCC negotiating body to advance trade and climate resilience, etc. 5. 4.6. Sundarbans Tiger Reserve, Sundarbans. Tiger Reserve is now India's second largest after expansion of area. National Board of Wildlife, NBWL, led by the Union Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, approved the West Bengal government's proposal to increase the area of Sundarbans Tiger Reserve, STR. Now, STR is just behind Andhra Pradesh's Nagarjuna Sagar Srisailam
सबसे बड़ा
Tiger
ये है
Reserve in
नागार्जुन
size
सागर
and
श्रीसाइलम
elevates
टाइगर
it from
रिजर्व.
the 7th to the second largest tiger reserve within India's 58 tiger reserves.
टोटल 58
Procedure to
टाइगर रिजर्व्स
declare
हैं
or alter tiger
और ये
reserve. Tiger
एलिवेट
reserves
हो
are
गया है
notified
7
by
से
state
2nd पे,
governments as per provisions
ठीक
of
है.
Section 38V of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 on
स्टेट
advice of the
गवर्नमेंट
National
नोटिफाई
Tiger
करती है
Conservation Authority.
38V ऑफ वाइल्ड लाइफ
The following
प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट
steps are involved in the
ऑन
notification.
एडवाइस ऑफ
O proposal is obtained from the state.
टाइगर रिजर्व.
O in principle
NTCA
approval
के
is
advice पे.
communicated from the National Tiger Conservation Authority, soliciting detailed proposals under Section 38V of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972.
NTCA
O,
करती
the
है.
National Tiger Conservation Authority recommends the proposal to the state after due diligence. O, the state government notifies the area as a tiger reserve. Process for alteration. As
ये
per Section
वन प्रपोज
38W1
स्टेट
of
करता है इन
Wildlife
प्रिंसिपल
Protection
अप्रूवल
Act
एनटीसीए से कम्युनिकेट
1972,
किया जाता है.
no
प्रपोजल
alteration
अंडर
in the
38V
boundaries
ऑफ
of a
वाइल्ड लाइफ
tiger
प्रोटेक्शन
reserve shall be
एक्ट.
made
एनटीसीए
except
रिकमेंड
on a
करता है प्रपोजल
recommendation of the
स्टेट को
Tiger Conservation
आफ्टर ड्यू डिलिजेंस
Authority
और स्टेट
and the
गवर्नमेंट पे
approval
नोटिफाई
of the
कर देती है कि
National
हो गया.
Board for Wildlife. O, such proposals are also obtained from the state.
सेक्शन 38V बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है.
5. 4.7. Matrivan Initiative. Matrivan Initiative is launched in Gurugram to develop a 750-acre urban forest in the Aravalli Hills. The initiative is part of the Ek Ped Ma Ke Naam program. It aims to enhance ecological preservation and foster community participation, marking a significant step towards urban sustainability. Ecological restoration components includes removal of invasive species, plantation of native trees, and restoring Aravalli-specific
Matrivan
biodiversity.
initiative.
5. 4.8. Etalin
Gurugram,
Hydroelectric Project.
अरावली
An
हिल्स
expert panel of
पार्ट
the
ऑफ
Union
एक पेड़
Environment
माँ के
Ministry
नाम
has
प्रोग्राम
recommended
एम्स टू एनहांस
environmental clearance for
इकोलॉजिकल
the
प्रिजर्वेशन
Etalin
फॉस्टर कम्युनिटी
Hydroelectric
पार्टिसिपेशन.
Project. About Etalin Hydroelectric Project.
Removal of invasive
Location.
species,
In
plantation of
Arunachal
native trees and
Pradesh's
restoring
Dibang
Aravali
Valley,
specific
part of the
biodiversity.
Eastern Himalaya
Aravali
Global
से related है
Biodiversity
मैत्रिवन, ठीक है.
Hotspot. Rivers, concrete gravity dams on the DRI and Tangon rivers. Oh, the DRI
Union
River joins the
Minister
Tangon near
recommended
Etalin
environmental
village to
clearance
form the
Italian
Dibang River
hydroelectric
downstream.
project.
5. 4.9.
दिबांग वाली है.
Volcanic eruptions in news. Mount Lewatobi, composed of 2 adjacent stratovolcanoes in Indonesia. Mount Kilauea. Eruptions
यहाँ
have been
पे
occurring in the
hydroelectric
Halemaumau
project है.
crater, which is
Volcanic
part of
eruption
the
हुआ है.
Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. Oh, Hawaii is the only US state completely made up of islands.
लेवोटोकी
May 4th 10.
ये आपके
Drake
इंडोनेशिया
Passage.
में है.
Magnitude 7.5
जो
earthquake
किलोआ
has
है
struck
ये
Drake Passage
ऑब्वियसली
near
अकरिंग
Argentina
इन
and Chile. About Drake
हालीमनाउ
Passage.
क्रेटर
Location.
हवाई में है.
Between Cape Horn,
हवाई
southernmost
इज
point of
यूएसए
South
completely
America,
made up of
and the South
islands.
Shetland Islands north of Antarctic Peninsula.
ड्रेक पैसेज.
Name. Named after Sir Francis Drake, the famous English navigator and circumnavigator. Ocean current. Water majorly flows
Cape
from
Horn
west to east
and
and
South
forms part
Shetland
of the
Islands, north
Antarctic
of
circumpolar
Antarctic
current,
Peninsula,
the most voluminous current.
southernmost point है
Historic
Cape Horn
trade route.
and
Key
इसके
passage
बीच
for
में है.
trade before the Panama Canal opened in
Basically ये
1914.
आपका वो आता
Sailing
है,
challenge, known
तो
for
ये
stormy
कहीं
seas
ये
and icy
अंटार्कटिका है,
conditions,
तो ये कहीं
making
यहाँ पे
Cape
है,
Horn
ठीक है.
rounding a severe test for ships. 6.
ये
Social
अंटार्कटिका है,
issues. 6.1.
अंटार्कटिका
Urban
है और ये
migration.
साउथ अमेरिका है.
Why in the news?
शायद इस साइड है guys.
Recent research by IIT Indore highlights how rural to urban migration is reshaping daily life in cities, with
और न्यूज़
shifts
में
in
क्यों है?
work, routines, and living conditions
की पैसेज
drawing
था ये
attention to the broader
ट्रेड टू
challenges faced
पनामा
by
कैनाल,
urban migrants. What is migration?
ओपन 1914 में, ठीक है.
International Organization for
सोशल इश्यूज
Migration
में आते हैं.
(IOM)
अर्बन
defines
माइग्रेशन,
migration as the movement of people away from their usual place of residence to a new place of residence, either across an international border or within a state. Migrants in India. O. The population census of India defines a migrant based on the place of birth (POB)
and the
and the
place of last
residence (POLR). According to the place
Rural
of
to
birth
urban migration
criteria,
issue in daily
if a
life in
person's
cities,
place of birth
shifts in
differs
work
from the
routines,
place of
living
enumeration, then at the place of enumeration, the person would be considered a migrant.
ठीक
If
है.
a person's place of last residence differs from the place of enumeration, then at the place of enumeration, the person will be considered a migrant. Status of migration in India. Urban migration. According to Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, at the all India level, 18.9% is rural to urban and 15.9% is
Urban to
urban
urban.
to urban, making up approximately 35% of total migration.
15.9 and
By
15.9.
2030, more than 40% of India's population is expected to live
रूरल
in
टू अर्बन
urban areas.
18.9 है
Economic
और
Survey
15.9 है आपका
2023 to
अर्बन टू
24.
अर्बन,
O. Rural to rural migration at
implies
55% is the highest, and
35.
urban to rural migration at 10% is the lowest. Share of migrants. Migrants account for 28.88%, 40.20 crore of
By
the population
2030.
2023, down from 37.64% 2011. 400 million dreams report. Oh, according to the census 2011,
अर्बन टू रूरल भी हो रहा है.
45.57 crore people are migrants. Over 5 states, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, and West Bengal, account for about 48% of outbound migrants, while Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal, and Tamil Nadu receive a similar share of inbound migrants. Incoming migration is rising fastest in West Bengal, Rajasthan, and
UP,
Karnataka,
महाराष्ट्र, आंध्र
but
प्रदेश,
declining
बिहार,
in
वेस्ट बंगाल
Maharashtra
से
and Andhra Pradesh. Economic
48%
Advisory Council
outbound
to the Prime
migration
Minister,
होता है.
EAC PM. Oh,
Okay.
factors driving urban migration. According to the census 2011, the reasons for rural to urban migration were O. Marriage, 29%. O. Moved with household, 26%. O. Work, 24%. O. Moved after birth, 5.5%. O. Education, 2%. O. Other reasons, 12%. There are two sets of factors that influence migration. Push factors, reasons to leave origin.
इनकमिंग माइग्रेशन है वेस्ट बंगाल, राजस्थान,
reasons to
कर्नाटका
choose
में
destination,
हाईएस्ट, बट
social,
डिक्लाइनिंग इन
political,
महाराष्ट्र एंड आंध्र प्रदेश.
persecution, ethnicity,
और
religion, race,
आउटबाउंड जो आपका
stability,
इनबाउंड
security
माइग्रेशन
of
है
property,
महाराष्ट्र,
peace,
यूपी, आंध्र
stability,
प्रदेश, वेस्ट बंगाल,
security of
तमिलनाडु में
property,
हाईएस्ट है
life and
इनबाउंड
war,
माइग्रेशन.
armed conflict, human rights, liberal asylum policies in safer countries, demographic, economic,
भाई रीजन देख लो, ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है.
violations,
सेंसस
political
2011 के
instability,
अकॉर्डिंग कि
unemployment,
रीजन क्या थे अर्बन
high
माइग्रेशन
poor
के.
labor,
मैरिज
higher wages,
29
better
इंपॉर्टेंट,
jobs, higher
मूव
living
विद हाउस
standards,
होल्ड,
higher
फैमिली
wages,
का
better
मूवमेंट,
jobs,
वर्क
higher living
24,
standards,
मूव्ड आफ्टर
economic
बर्थ 5.5,
decline, lack of
एजुकेशन 2%, अदर
opportunities,
रीजंस
educational
12%.
opportunities and better
ठीक है,
healthcare,
1 2 3
educational
4
opportunities
5
and better healthcare,
6 7.
environmental climate, natural disasters, floods, hurricanes, young labor demand in aging societies, pleasant climate, safer environmental conditions, young labor demand in aging societies, pleasant climate, safer environmental conditions, climate change impacts, droughts, rising seas, extreme weather. Consequences of urban migration. Economic consequences. O. Economic growth. Skilled migrants boost development, with seasonal and temporary migrants contributing O. about 10% to national GDP, United Nations Development Programme, improved living standards, remittances raise living standards through housing, land, education, and business. O. Economic vulnerabilities. Concentration in the informal sector, low wages, lack of access to social security are persisting challenges for the migrants. Example: nearly 90% of India's workforce is in the informal sector, employing most migrant workers. Example: COVID-19 caused a homeward exodus of around
कोविड-19 बहुत
11.4
अच्छा
million
एग्जाम्पल है.
migrants in India.
कोविड-19.
Demographic consequences. O. Population structure. Migration alters population balance, skewing sex ratios and reducing rural birth rates. Example: Kottayam's sex ratio, 1040, is lower than Kerala's average, 1084, due to female outmigration. Social psychological consequences. O. Social change. Migrants bring new ideas, technology, and consumerist culture, modernizing origin areas. O. Social challenges. It includes discrimination based on caste, religion, and regional origin, language barriers, formation of ghettos, etc. Example: 2008 attacks on migrants in Maharashtra. O. Housing and infrastructure
महाराष्ट्र में होता रहता है
strain.
अटैक
For
भाई.
example, Pune has 564 slums with an estimated 30 to 40% of its population. Government initiatives for migrant workers. Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. It aims to achieve universal health coverage by providing health coverage to India's most
PMJY.
vulnerable, including migrant workers. Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana PMGK. It provides free food grains and direct cash transfers to families below the poverty line, including migrant workers. One Nation, One Ration Card, ONARC scheme, launched in 2018, ensures food security through the portability of ration cards across India. eShram portal creates a national database of unorganized workers, integrates welfare schemes, and enables easy access to social security benefits. PM Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi, PM Svanidhi. It aims to provide collateral-free working capital loans to street vendors. Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Man Dhan Yojana, PM SWAM. It aims to provide a minimum assured pension to workers in the unorganized sector, including migrant workers, upon reaching the age of 60. Way Forward. Working Group on Migration, 2015. Recommendations: a legal and policy framework. Enact legal safeguards to protect migrants' constitutional rights. Amend Registrar General's protocols for caste-based enumeration of migrants. O. Anti-discrimination measures. Eliminate domicile requirements for jobs and services to uphold freedom of movement and residence. O. Providing access to basic entitlements, such as including migrant children in Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan SSA, annual work plans. O. Financial inclusion. Reduce cost of money remittances using India Post's network to prevent informal transfers. Expanding best practices. The Kerala Migration Survey model, conducted every 5 years since 1998, should be expanded nationwide to strengthen migration governance and policy responses. 6.2. Adi Karmayogi
कर्मयोगी
Abhiyan.
अभियान.
Why in the news? The Ministry of Tribal Affairs has officially launched the Adi Karmayogi Abhiyan. About Adi Karmayogi Abhiyan. It is a tribal grassroots leadership program aimed at empowering tribal communities, strengthening responsive governance, and creating the leadership opportunities across local country. Target: develop a cadre of 20 lakh
Local
to
leadership
operate in
opportunities
over
across the
1
country.
lakh tribal-dominated villages across 30 states UTs, 550 plus districts, and 3,000 blocks. O. It is expected to reach and uplift over 10.5 crore tribal citizens. Vision: Adi Karmayogi Cadre as a tribal Seva service, Samarpan resolve, ensuring last-mile service path, driven by Seva, dedication, and Sankalp responsive governance and saturation in tribal areas. Key objectives: O. Promote responsive, transparent, and accountable governance. O. Facilitate bottom-up visioning and participatory planning. O. Institutionalize proactive grievance redressal and feedback systems. O. Ensure last-mile delivery through convergence of flagship tribal initiatives, see infographic. It forms a key part of the Janjatiya Gaurav Varsh from 15 November 2024 to the 15th of November
आदि कर्मयोगी
2025
है, देन
to
आदि
commemorate
सहयोगी है,
Bhagwan
आदि
Birsa Munda's
साथी हैं,
150th
गवर्नमेंट
birthday.
ऑफिसर्स, स्टेट विलेज
Key
ऑफिसर्स,
features of the
देन यू हैव
scheme:
यूथ लीडर्स, टीचर्स,
multi-tiered
डॉक्टर्स, सोशल
leadership
वर्कर,
structure from
सहयोगी
habitation
और
to
साथ ही
state.
में एसएचजी मेंबर्स,
C.
ट्राइबल लीडर्स एंड वॉलंटियर
Infographic.
कल्चरल आइकन्स. ठीक है,
Multi-department convergence.
इंपॉर्टेंट है.
Tribal welfare, rural development, women child development, Jal Shakti, school
और एक
education,
की पार्ट
and
है
forest.
जनजाति
Implementation
गौरव वर्ष
strategy.
15 नवंबर से
governance learning workshops.
15 नवंबर
Rollout
2025
regional
में
process labs, RPLs,
कमेमोरेट
at centers
भगवान
like
बिरसा मुंडा's
Bengaluru,
150th बर्थडे.
Bhopal, Bhubaneswar, Guwahati,
आगे बढ़ जाता
Dehradun, Ranchi, etc. O village visioning and development. Action plans. Every village co-creates Village Vision 2030 document. Development action plan with officials and villagers. O mentorship. Ecosystem, retired civil servants, tribal elders, Padma awardees, etc. as mentors. O Adi Karma Yogi. Digital platform to provide ongoing training, data-driven tools, knowledge sharing, and impact. Dashboards. Benefits, anticipated outcomes, 100% saturation of government services including road connectivity, puka housing, piped drinking water, household electrification, Ayushman Bharat insurance enrollment, ensuring that no tribal household is left behind. 1. Lak Adi Sewa Kendras, established as one-stop service centers for tribal communities. 100 plus Adi Karma Yogi student chapters established across premier institutions such as IITs, NITs, and IIMs, fostering tribal youth leadership. Establishment of a single window responsive governance center in every tribal village as a hub for information, dissemination, grievance redressal. Importance of developing tribal cadre for tribal development, bridging delivery gaps. Over the last decade, the scheduled tribe welfare budget, DABST, has witnessed a five-fold increase from Rs 25,000 crore to Rs 24,000 crore, but outcomes remain weak due to poor delivery. Highest incidence and intensity of poverty among STs. 40.6% ST population lived below the poverty line as against 20.5% of the non-tribal population. Tribal Health Report. Preserving vibrant cultural expressions. Tribal communities possess unique languages, art, dance, and festivals, which are endangered due to assimilation pressures. OEG, TRIFT is collaborating with various ministries and departments for GI tagging of tribal products. Harnessing tribal ecological wisdom. Their traditional practices like shifting cultivation, sacred groves, community, forestry hold lessons for climate resilience. OEG, Dongria Kont of Odisha, practice millet-based farming conserving agro-biodiversity.
ये इंपॉर्टेंट है, आंसर अगर कोई पढ़ रहा है उसके लिए भी.
Adi Karma Yogis will be chosen in consultation with Gram Sabhas to
डोंगरिया
foster
कौन?
trust, ownership, and cultural sensitivity. Conclusion. A dedicated tribal cadre can bridge delivery gaps, reduce poverty, and empower Gram Sabhas while preserving culture and ecological wisdom. It is not just about capacity, but conviction, transforming tribal development into inclusive and sustainable nation building. 6.3. News in Shorts. 6. 3.1. Multidisciplinary education and research improvement in technical education, merit scheme. Union Cabinet approved budgetary support for Meriti scheme. About Meriti scheme, type, Central Sector Scheme, Nodal Ministry, Ministry of Education. Objective, to improve the quality, equity, and governance in technical education, covering all states, UTs. O aligned with National Education Policy 2020. Budget, Rs.4200 crore, for a period from 2025 to 26 to 2029 to 30. O includes external assistance of Rs.2100 crore
वर्ल्ड बैंक से
from
लोन लिया
World
है 100
Bankers
करोड़
loan.
का.
Beneficiaries, 275 technical institutions comprising 175 engineering institutions and 100 polytechnics. 6. 3.2. Kerala becomes India's first 100% digitally literate state. The achievement stems from the Digi Keralam program, launched in 2023 with the goal of extending the digital revolution and e-services to all residents, irrespective of age. It also builds upon Kerala's earlier Akshaya project, which made Malappuram the first illiterate district in India. Digital literacy. It is the ability of individuals and communities to understand and use digital technologies for meaningful actions within life situations. Digitally literate household means at least one member of 5 years of age or older can operate a computer and use the internet. Positive impacts on
एक भी
socioeconomic
बंदा अगर है घर
development.
में जो डिजिटली
Improved government efficiency. Projects like
ऑपरेबल है
Kisan
तो
call
डिजिटली
centers,
लिटरेट हाउसहोल्ड बोला
common
जाता है उसके घर
services
को.
centers, CSCs, lead to better service delivery and transparency. Global connectivity
Kisan call
provides
center, common
window
service
to the
centers.
world for accessing information and decision making, and also helps in improved social life and family bonds. Participation in democratic processes empowers citizens to engage more actively
केरला
with governance.
वापस से केरला का नाम आ रहा है
Accelerated
कि 100%
financial
डिजिटली
inclusion,
लिटरेट स्टेट बन गया
fast-track
है.
schemes like
ये
direct
है.
benefit transfer (DBT) and unified payment interface (UPI), imparting basic ICT skills and enhancing livelihood opportunities for the
DBT और
evolving
UPI.
digital economy. Kerala's achievement as the first digitally literate state in India showcases a successful model for inclusive digital transformation. 6. 3.3 Registrar General of India (RGI). RGI asks states to take steps towards achieving universal registration of births and deaths. About RGI, appointed under the Registration of Births and Deaths Act 1969.
Universal registration.
Ministry of Home Affairs. Key responsibilities. O Housing Population Census under
RGI की
Census
बात.
Act 196. O Civil Registration
Ministry
System
of Home Affairs में
CRS
आता है ये.
under the Registration of Births Deaths
Housing Population
RBD
Census and the
Act
Census Act.
1969, which provides for D. the compulsory registration of births and deaths. O others. Sample Registration System, National Population Register, Mother Tongue Survey, etc.
ये भी
7.
1969 होगा.
Science and Technology. 7.1 Space Program of India. Why in the news? Recently, Lok Sabha held
Science
a special
and technology,
discussion on
ठीक है?
critical role of the space program for Viksit Bharat by 2047. More on the news. The discussion highlighted that space experiments conducted by Subhanshu Shukla personify India as a Vishwabandhu Bharat, global friend. O Subhanshu Shukla traveled to the International Space Station
Yes.
ISS aboard the Axiom 4 AX4 mission.
Axiom
he
4
is
में गया
India's
था
first astronaut
4
aboard the
एस्ट्रोनॉट्स के
ISS
साथ
and only the
Falcon 9
second
में
Indian to travel to space after
SpaceX.
Rakesh Sharma in 1984. Critical role of space program technology. Space program technology
राकेश
will
शर्मा
play
के
a
बाद दूसरा
pivotal
बंदा
role
है
in addressing India's critical
सुभांशु शुक्ला.
challenges while simultaneously unlocking new opportunities for growth and development. Sector sphere.
जो स्पेस में
Current
गया है.
challenges. Space-based solutions. Agriculture food security. Erratic monsoons due to climate change. Low farm productivity. Poor crop
Agriculture
forecasting.
में erratic monsoon,
Forecasting.
climate change.
Inset 3D/3DR resources that supports crop monitoring and yield estimation. Provide. Weather. Infrastructure. Lack of integrated planning. Delays in project implementation. PM Gati Shakti uses ISRO imagery spatial tools to integrate projects like Bharatmala, Sagarmala, railways,
पीएम गति
etc.
शक्ति इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर
Disaster management.
ठीक है.
High floods, cyclones, landslides, earthquakes, forest
problem
fires, vulnerability. To ISRO's Disaster Management Support (DMS) program enables real-time monitoring, early warning, and post-disaster assessment, security defense, border communication, emerging space threats, surveillance, gaps, vulnerabilities, GSAT, 7 RISAT, strengthened secure communication surveillance, Mission Shakti, 2019, demonstrated anti-satellite capability, strategic autonomy, dependence on US GPS
ये
navigation.
बहुत तगड़ी
4.
प्रॉब्लम है ना
Naviski,
यूएस जीपीएस पे
navigation with
डिपेंडेंट
Indian
है.
constellation, provides indigenous navigation services, climate change environment,
लेकिन अभी ये
deforestation,
प्रॉपरली आया नहीं
glacier
नाविक
retreat,
नॉर्मल लोगों
land
के लिए.
degradation, ocean warming. NISAR, NASA ISRO mission will study land deformation, ecosystems, and oceans, ice, healthcare delivery, limited access to healthcare remote areas in ISRO's telemedicine project, education, rural-urban divide, limited digital learning infrastructure, education, EDISAT provides distance broadcasting, learning educational, transparency accountability, leakages poor monitoring welfare schemes, in geotagging of MGNREGA assets ensures accountability and transparency, water management, depletion of groundwater, poor watershed planning. Bhuvan Srishti Geoportal enables monitoring of integrated watershed management program
IWMP.
IWMP projects. How progress in space sector
ये
makes
डायरेक्ट
India
क्वेश्चन आ सकता
Vishwabandhu.
है.
Global collaboration. NISAR is termed India's scientific handshake with the world, symbolizing international collaboration by adhering to global standards for docking and interoperability. Regional leadership and support.
ठीक है.
In 2017 launched South Asia Satellite, GSAT-9, for the South Asian region, except Pakistan.
Okay.
All neighboring countries which fall within the Navi Sea service area
पाकिस्तान को छोड़
can
के.
use Navi Sea services, sharing technology, expertise, data for universal benefit.
Neighboring countries को दे रहा है, तो neighborhood first
3
policy में आप
datasets are
mention कर सकते
available
हो.
on Pradhan, policy-based data retrieval, analytics, dissemination and notification system for the scientific community. Capacity building initiatives. Programs like UNATI, Unispace Nanosatellite Assembly Training by ISRO,
Capacity building.
offer international training on nanosatellite
Capacity building में
development.
उन्नति ले लो.
Cost effectiveness, reliability, e.g. Mars Orbiter Mission, MOM, was most economical interplanetary mission
MOM
in
से
the
better
world
example क्या हो
and
सकता है?
paved way for
MOM.
cost-effective access to deep space. Over 400 satellites for 34 nations have been launched on India's launch vehicles.
ये भी important fact है.
Responsible space player. India's
400
debris-free
satellites,
space
34
missions,
nations have been launched.
DFSM initiative, aiming for all Indian space missions to be debris-free by 2030, demonstrates a commitment to ensuring a safe, secure, and sustainable outer space for future generations.
Sorry.
Humanitarian aid. ISRO is member of the COSPAS SARSAT, an international satellite-based search and rescue (SR) system. Recent policy intervention for the rapid development in space sector.
अब नई policies बता
India
दो.
Space Policy 2023.
FDI
Policy was
startup
launched
ecosystem.
to pursue a holistic
New
approach by
Space India
encouraging
Limited
and promoting
acts,
greater
new
private
institutional
sector
framework.
participation in the entire value chain of the space economy. FDI and startup ecosystem. The amended Foreign Direct Investment FDI policy allows up to 100% FDI in manufacturing components for space systems under the automatic route.
और route भी automatic.
This progressive environment has fueled the growth of over 300 space startups in recent years, significantly boosting innovation. New institutional framework, New Space India Limited (NSL) acts as ISRO's commercial arm, promoting and commercializing its products and services and enabling industries to undertake high-tech space activities. The Indian National Space Promotion Authorization Center, INSPACE, serves as a single window facilitator for private sector participation in all space activities,
INSPAC.
from launches to orbital slot filings and data dissemination. Conclusion. India's space program is a driver of national growth, global cooperation, and sustainable development. With clear milestones such as establishing the Bharatiya Antariksh Station, BAS,
2035.
by 2035 and launching crewed lunar mission by 2040, India is steadily positioning itself as a leader in space exploration. By combining innovation, inclusivity, and international collaboration, India's space journey embodies the vision of Viksit Bharat at 2047. To know more about Axiom 4 mission, refer to Article 7.1, Axiom 4 mission, in June 2025, Monthly Current Affairs Magazine, 7.2. India's first commercial Earth observation, EO, satellite constellation, why in the news? Pixel Space India-led consortium has won the in-space proposal to build India's first fully indigenous commercial Earth observation satellite system EOSS under PPP model. More on the news. Pixel Space India Consortium comprises PeerSight Space, Satsure Analytics India and Dhruva Space. Public-private partnership EOPPP model. The private sector is to design, build and operate the EOSS, while thus government is to provide strategic, technical and policy support. Zero-cost bid. The consortium will bear the entire investment of over Rs 200 crore for the project, foregoing a government offer of up to Rs 350 crore in support. About the proposed Earth Observation Satellite System, EOSS. It is a constellation of 12 state-of-the-art EO satellites planned to be launched over the next 5 years. It will be equipped with panchromatic, multispectral, hyperspectral, and microwave synthetic aperture radar (SR) sensors.
Earth observation,
Applications,
satellite
deliver
constellation
analysis-ready data (ARD), and
Commercial.
value-added services for climate change monitoring, disaster management,
किसने किया?
agriculture,
Pixel-led
national security,
India,
serving for
Pixel
high-quality
Space India
geospatial
led
intelligence
consortium.
now, among others. About EO satellites,
इंस्पैक का
also
प्रपोजल था
called as Earth Remote Sensing Satellites. They are
इंडिजिनस
designed to collect information about activities on Earth, both natural and artificial, including physical, chemical, biological, and human systems. Significance of private participation in India's space sector. Development of space economy. Strong private sector involvement promotes investments and boosts global competitiveness of India's space economy.
12 state of the art ये हैं next
India's
5
space
years
economy is currently
synthetic
worth
aperture radar
approximately
है
$8.4 billion,
data analysis value services
envisioned to reach
geospatial
$44
intelligence
billion by
agriculture disaster management
2033,
national security
including $11 billion
and
in exports,
next song
amounting to 7 to 8% of the global share. Innovation and growth. Private space companies are driving innovation in satellite development, launch vehicles, and space-enabled services, bringing in new technologies and agile approaches. OEG. Pixel launched India's first private satellite constellation Firefly, providing high-resolution hyperspectral imaging. Productivity enhancement of ISRO allows ISRO to concentrate on advanced and long-term missions, promoting Atmanirbhar Bharat in space sector. Job creation. The growing private space sector is creating high-skilled jobs and opportunities for the youth in engaging in quality research and development, potentially curbing brain drain. Strategic self-reliance in space technology. Private participation will enhance India's data sovereignty and reduce dependence on foreign imagery and other space assets. India's leadership in the global space economy. With over 300 space startups, private sector participation strengthens India's positioning in the global space economy. The Indian space economy currently constitutes only a 2% share of the global space market. Government initiatives to promote private sector participation in space sector. Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center, InSpace, established in 2020 as an autonomous agency in the Department of Space, DOS, to boost private participation in space activities. Indian Space Policy 2023 provides regulatory clarity and policy.
A short break, I'm coming, okay? सॉरी यार, सॉरी फॉर दैट, लगता है पॉज नहीं हुआ, कोई बात नहीं. लेट्स कंटिन्यू.
Stability. Venture Capital Fund. A fund of Rs 1,000 crore approved to finance startups across the entire space supply chain. Technology transfer in space facilitated transfer of 10 cutting-edge technologies developed by ISRO to 6 Indian industries, e.g. advanced inertial sensors, geospatial models for crop yield estimation, liberalized FDI policy, up to 100% FDI allowed in the space sector to promote international investments, technology transfers, and collaborative research in space technology. Challenges regarding private sector participation in space. Absence of a comprehensive national space legislation. Without a comprehensive legislation, ensuring enforcement and compliance of policies is difficult, creating legal ambiguity and realization of stipulated goals. Dual-use character of space technologies poses unique challenges, such as causing project delays, necessitating the protection of intellectual property rights without excessive government intervention, and highlighting the need for an independent appellate authority to avoid conflicts of interest. Operational challenges. Regulatory transition, in absence of space legislation, creates significant operational challenges for the industry, leading to unnecessary delays and confusion from multiple ministry approvals. Technological bottlenecks. Despite growing research, Indian private sector lacks the technical as well as financial capacity, increasing their import dependence. Global demand generation. The dominant downstream sector accounts for around 80% of the Indian space economy, whereas the upstream sector development is at a nascent stage. Upstream segment involves development, testing and launching of space assets, whereas downstream segment includes applications and services utilizing satellites. Conclusion. As India advances toward building a robust space ecosystem, the pixel-led EO constellation symbolizes the dawn of a new era where public-private synergy will redefine India's role in global space governance. Going forward, sustained policy support, capacity building, and global collaborations will be crucial to ensure that India not only meets its domestic needs, but also emerges as a leading exporter of space-based solutions, driving the vision of a technologically empowered and globally influential Viksit Bharat.
ठीक है
7.3 News in Shorts. 7. 3.1 ISRO inaugurates HOPE analog mission in Tisokar Valley, Ladakh. Himalayan outpost for planetary exploration, HOPE is a specially designed habitat module for crew living and a utility module for operations and support systems which are interconnected for seamless workflow. The HOPE station, set up by ISRO, aims to simulate space-like conditions on Earth to aid research for future interplanetary missions. About HOPE mission, led by ISRO's Human Space Flight Center, HSFC, with industry partners and top Indian institutions. Objectives. O simulates extraterrestrial environments like the Moon and Mars. O enables testing of human survival, health protocols, and equipment in space-like environments. Studies to be conducted. O epigenetics, genomics, physiology, psychology. O sample collection and microbial analysis techniques. O validation of health monitoring and planetary surface operation protocols. Why Tisokar Valley was chosen. O for Mars-like conditions, high UV radiation, low atmospheric pressure, extreme cold and saline permafrost. O supports both technological tests and astrobiology research. Part of broader analog missions trend globally, aimed at preparing for long-term extraterrestrial human missions. O other similar research stations across the world. Mars Desert Research Station of the US, Flashline Mars Arctic Station of Canada, and BIOS 3 of Russia. 7. 3.2 ISRO's heaviest rocket lunar module launch vehicle, LMLV, to be ready by 2035. Key features of LMLV. Design. Improved version of the NGLV, next generation launch vehicle. O. As tall as a 40-story building. Purpose. Lunar missions, including India's first human mission to the Moon, planned by 2040. Payload. It can carry 80 tons to low Earth orbit, LEO, or approximately 27 tons to the Moon. 3 stages. Liquid propellant for its first 2 stages, and a cryogenic propellant for its 3rd stage. ISRO's key launch. Vehicles and capabilities. PSLV, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. ISRO's workhorse. A 3rd-generation vehicle with liquid stages, capable of launching satellites into sun-synchronous polar orbit. LEO, Geosynchronous Transfer Orbit, GTO, for example Chandrayaan-1 Mars Orbiter Mission. GSLV, Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle. A 4th-generation 3-stage vehicle designed to launch 2.0-ton class satellites into GTO for communication satellites. LVM-3, a heavy lift, 3-stage vehicle capable of carrying 4-ton class satellites to GTO or about 10 tons to LEO, Chandrayaan-2 and 3. O. It is proposed to be used for Bharatiya Antariksh Station, SSLV, small satellite launch vehicle. 3-stage, all-solid propulsion vehicle designed for launching mini, micro, or nano satellites, 10 to 500 kilograms mass. 7. 3.3 UAI Code of Practice on General Purpose, GPAI. 26 major tech companies, including Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and IBM, have voluntarily signed the EU Commission's AI Code of Practice on GPAI. Code is voluntary. Signatories may benefit from enhanced legal certainty and a smoother transition into the binding Requirements of the EU
EU's
AI
Commission
Act,
of AI.
slated to take effect within the
यहाँ पे
next
कुछ
2
है
years.
EU Commission
The code
AI
has 3
Code of
chapters,
Practices
that
of
is,
GPAI.
transparency, copyright, and safety security about EU AI Act. EU AI Act is the world's first comprehensive AI law. The Act takes a risk-based approach to regulation, applying different rules to AI according to the risk they
According to risk they pose.
It ensures clearer accountability for AI providers, with a direct impact on businesses using generative AI through their value chains and third-party risk management. Much like the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, the EU AI Act is anticipated to become a global standard, aiming to ensure AI's positive rather than negative effects on lives worldwide. Compliance. Penalties for non-compliance are significant, up to 7% of global turnover. Key concerns raised by companies. Code introduces legal uncertainties for model developers and extends beyond the scope of the forthcoming AI Act. Regulatory complexity and administrative burdens may impact Europe's AI competitiveness. 7. 3.4. Brain-Computer Interface, BCI. Stanford scientists have created password-protected mind-reading brain-computer interface, BCI. The innovation ensures brain-computer interfaces respect user privacy by requiring mental passwords before decoding thoughts into text or audio. What is a brain-computer interface? A BCI enables direct brain-to-device communication, translating neural signals into commands. This bypasses muscular control, allowing users to operate applications with thought alone.
So thought के साथ
BCIs acquire brain activity via invasive implants or non-invasive wearables, process signals, and send commands with feedback crucial for user adaptation. Key applications of BCIs: medical, restoring mobility and speech for patients with paralysis, ALS, or stroke; mental wellness, providing feedback for mental health management; gaming industry, enabling immersive gaming and decision support systems; cognitive enhancement, potential for enhancing memory, attention, and decision-making. Key concerns related to BCIs: cybersecurity, risks like brain tapping, intercepting private thoughts, beliefs, misleading stimuli attacks, mind control, and adversarial attacks on AI components; privacy, protecting sensitive neural data from unauthorized access; cognitive liberty, threat to an individual's mental self-determination; health impacts, unclear long-term consequences of BCI use; regulatory cost, lack of standardized regulations and high costs, limit accessibility. Way forward: robust regulations, implementing tailored data privacy laws, ensuring transparency and informed consent; enhanced security, developing BCI-specific access controls and defense strategies; establishing neuro rights to safeguard mental privacy, cognitive autonomy, and freedom of thought of individuals from exploitation and unauthorized interference. 7. 3.5.
autonomy and freedom of
Annual
thought of
FASTag passes. Ministry of Road Transport and Highways launched FASTag Annual Pass facility.
Right.
Annual Pass eliminates the need to frequently recharge FASTag through one-time fee of Rs, 3,000 for 1 year or 200 toll plaza crossings.
One time
About
fee of
FASTag.
3,000 for 1 year.
It is a device
and
that
200
employs
toll
radio
plaza
frequency
crossings.
identification, RFID technology, for making toll payments directly from account while the vehicle is in motion.
Important क्या है कि ये
RFID
eliminate कर
consists
देगा
of
need
tags
frequently
and readers and
recharge.
employs
Annual
radio
FASTag आ
waves
रहा है.
to communicate information of objects or people to nearby readers. It is a short-range technology. It is managed by National Payments Corporation of India, NPCI, and the National Highways Authority of India, NHAI. 7. 3.6. Maharashtra Inc.'s deal with IIT Madras startup Tuta Hyperloop PVT-ET to build Hyperloop, proposed linear induction motor, limb-based Hyperloop mobility system will connect Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust in Navi Mumbai to the upcoming Vadavan port in Palghar district. About Hyperloop mobility system. In 2013, the CEO of SpaceX, Elon Musk, proposed a concept of ultra-high-speed rail, UHSR, called Hyperloop, and open-sourced it. It is basically a magnetic levitation, maglev system, where pods travel at ultra-high speeds through low-pressure tubes. Its functioning and key components, Hyperloop, functions in a sealed tube with minimal air resistance, utilizing vacuums and magnetic levitation for hovering. O linear induction motors, LIM, propels pods silently enabling the theoretical speed of 1,200 kilometers per h. O key components include steel tubes, 100 pascals pressure, pressurized capsules, a compressor for airflow, and air-bearing suspension. Advantages: ultra-high speeds, for example, Mumbai-Pune in 25 mins. Energy efficiency, potentially carbon-free. Noise, reduction, and logistics redefinition, moving cargo quickly and efficiently. Issues with technology: conceptual status, high costs, $25, $27 million mile for technology. Safety concerns: fire in pods, difficult evacuation,
Magnetic levitation.
vacuum maintenance challenges, demanding straight-line infrastructure requiring new regulations, etc. Substantial financial backing, continuous research and development complemented by new regulatory frameworks are crucial for overcoming technical and safety challenges of Hyperloop technology. 7. 3.7. Shrest Initiative. Union Health Ministry launched State Health Regulatory Excellence Index, SHREST, a national initiative to benchmark and strengthen state drug regulatory systems. About SHREST, proposed by the Central Drug Standard Control Organization, CDSCO.
Drug regulation के लिए.
Aim: to drive improvements in the performance of state drug regulatory authorities across India, ensuring drug safety and quality standards are consistently met.
Improvement performance.
It will have
state drug
indices
regulatory
based on
authorities
5 key
across
themes:
India.
human resources, infrastructure, licensing activities,
5 key
surveillance
themes.
activities, and responsiveness.
पहला
8.
theme है
Culture. 8.1.
human resource,
Goswami
infrastructure,
Tulsidas.
licensing,
Why
surveillance
in the
activities
news?
and responsiveness.
Recently, the
Culture में आ
500th
जाओ.
birth anniversary of Goswami Tulsidas was celebrated in Chitrakoot. About Goswami Tulsidas. Birth. Believed to be born in Rajapur village, Banda district,
Goswami
Uttar
Tulsidas ji.
Pradesh. Real name: Rambola Dubey. Father: Atmaram. Mother: Hulasi. Teacher: Sri Narharidas G.K. Contributions. Literary
Rajapur
contribution.
village, Banda district
He
of
wrote
UP.
the Ramcharitmanas on the banks of the Ganga at Asi, Varanasi, in the Awadhi dialect of Hindi. Ramcharitmanas is included in UNESCO's Memory of the World Asia-Pacific Regional
Ganga
Register.
at Assi.
He composed Vinay Patrika
Of the
and
dialect.
Kavitavali in the Braj dialect of Hindi. Other major works include
UNESCO
Gitavali,
Memory
Dohavali,
of the World
Janaki
Asia
Mangal,
Pacific Regional Register.
Parvati Mangal, Barvai,
Vinay
Hanuman
Patrika,
Chalisa,
Kavitanjali
and others.
in the Braj
Bhakti
dialect.
movement. Tulsidas was a reformer and philosopher from the
Gitavali,
Ramanandi
Dohavali,
Sampradaya
Janki
in the
Mangal,
lineage of Jagadguru,
Parvati Mangal, Barbai,
Ramanandacharya.
Hanuman Chalisa.
He was a
and
Vaishnava
others.
Hindu
तो
saint
हनुमान
and poet
चालीसा
of the
भी
Saguna Bhakti
इन्होंने
tradition,
लिखा है. गोस्वामी
renowned for his devotion to
तुलसीदास जी
the
ने.
Lord
भक्ति
Rama.
मूवमेंट में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल है
Saguna
इनका.
Bhakti tradition, worship of deities like Shiva, Vishnu, and his avatars, and the goddess, often
राम
in
नंदी संप्रदाय, जगत गुरु,
anthropomorphic forms.
वैष्णव,
He also
Hindu
believed
saint,
that nirguna,
and the poet
devotion
of
to a
Sagun
formless,
Bhakti.
attributeless, and abstract God,
Devotion
and
to
saguna are not
Sagun
opposed
Bhakti
to each other.
tradition.
In fact, they complement each other. Promotion of regional dialects.
Believe Nirguna,
The use of
devotion to
Awadhi
formless,
and Braj
attributeless, and
languages in his
abstract
major
God.
work
Sagun are
helped in
also
the
opposed to each
promotion
other.
of these dialects. Temple building. Established the famous
Of the
Sankatmokan
Braj
temple
languages.
dedicated to Lord Hanuman in Varanasi. Ramlila.
संकट मोचन
It is
टेम्पल
the traditional theatrical
वाराणसी में.
performance of the Ramayana based on Tulsidas'
Ramlila,
Ramcharitmanas. It was
recent
started by the
theatrical
disciples of
performance of
Tulsidas after his death.
तुलसीदास रामचरितमानस.
One sect of historians believes that the first person to have started tradition of Ramlila was Megha Bhagat, a student of Tulsidas in 1625, while other sects hold a view that it was started in
तुलसीदास जी के
Ramnagar,
रामचरितमानस पे
Banaras,
बेस्ड है रामायण
around
जो
1200 to
परफॉर्म करते हैं
1500
ना
CE.
वो.
Ramlila is on the UNESCO representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity.
मेघा भगत, a student in 1625.
Teachings of Tulsidas, Navavidha Bhakti, 9 kinds of devotion. It includes principles like keep company of saints and devotees, take deep interest in the Lord's life, Leela, serve the Guru, etc.
Keep company
Social
of saints and devotees,
concerns.
take Lord's
He
life,
propounded
Leela, and
2
serve the
principles
Guru.
that promoted social integration and the general acceptability of his works. Social equality, devotion, not birth, makes one dear to Lord Rama. He attacked the caste system saying, none will question your caste or creed.
Attack the
If
caste
you
system.
devote yourself to God, you belong
Yes.
to Him. Unity of Shaivism and
None will
Vaishnavism.
question your caste
He
if
saw
you devote yourself
Shiva
to
and
God. You
Rama
belong
as
to
one.
him.
Formless Rama,
शैविज्म और
Advaita idea.
वैष्णविज्म को
He
यूनिटी की
adopted
बात करते
monoism,
हैं.
Advaita,
शिव
which
और
says
राम
the
जी को
supreme
एक देखा
reality
इन्होंने.
is formless and propertyless. He also adopted the concept of Rama without a body as per the principle
Formless,
of monoism.
अद्वैत रियलिटी.
On taxation,
adopted
believes
monoism
that as the
advait,
sun
which
draws
is
water
supreme
from the
reality is
earth, which
formless
then
and
turns into clouds
propertyless.
and returns as
Concept
rain
of
on the
Rama
earth,
without a body
bringing
as a principle.
prosperity. The tax system should be similar
And
in nature.
taxation believes
Conclusion.
that the sun draws water from the earth,
Tulsidas's
which then
life and
turns into
works reflect
clouds
the
and
essence of
returns as
devotion,
rain on the earth, bringing
humility,
prosperity. The
and
tax
social
system should be
harmony.
similar in nature.
His message of equality,
Okay.
unity, and unwavering faith continues to inspire generations. By stressing love for God above all divisions, he transformed spiritual practice into a force of moral guidance and collective upliftment.
Ethics में बहुत important है.
8.2 100 years of Kakori train action. Why in the news?
ककोरी.
2025 marks the centenary year of the Kakori train action.
1925 में हुआ था.
About Kakori train action.
100 साल पहले.
The train action was executed on August 9, 1925
लखनऊ उत्तर
at
प्रदेश के
Kakori,
पास.
a village near Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. It was orchestrated by 10 revolutionaries of the Hindustan Republican Association
HRA ने किया था.
HRA to seize collection money from the British Indian Railways. They stopped the 8-down train travelling from Shahjahanpur to Lucknow near Kakori station, which was transporting treasury funds intended for the British government in Lucknow. Key leaders: Ram Prasad Bismil, Ashfaqullah Khan, Chandrasekhar Azad, Thakur Roshan Singh, Rajendra Lahiri, among others. O. Chandrasekhar. Azad continued revolutionary activities across India until his death in a police encounter in Durs.
Important leaders इसमें कहते हैं राम प्रसाद बिस्मिल, अशफाकुल्लाह खान, चंद्रशेखर आजाद,
Aftermath of the
रोशन सिंह,
incident.
राजेंद्र लहिरी.
British reaction. A massive manhunt began, with over 24 arrests within a month and
Manhunt.
40 plus accused, including sympathizers. Kakori conspiracy case trial. The British authorities charged the involving 28 active members of the HRA with robbery, conspiracy, manslaughter, and waging war against the Crown, intensifying the severity of the case. Death sentences: Ram Prasad Bismil, Ashfaqullah Khan, Rajendra Lahiri, and Thakur
इन्होंने
Roshan
लूटने की कोशिश
Singh
की
were
थी,
sentenced
है ना?
to death by hanging.
जैसे कि यहाँ लिखा है
Prisoner
कि
protests.
ट्रांसपोर्टिंग ट्रेजरी फंड फॉर
Revolutionaries
ब्रिटिश
sent to
गवर्नमेंट इन
different
लखनऊ.
jails undertook hunger strikes to protest against jail conditions and demand political prisoner
राम प्रसाद
status.
बिस्मिल, अशफाकुल्लाह, राजेंद्र
Impact
लहिरी
on India's
were
independence
sentenced to death
movement.
by hanging.
Inspiration for future
Different
revolutionaries.
jail undertook
The
hunger
courage,
strikes to
defiance,
protest
and
against jail
ultimate
conditions and
sacrifice of the
demand
Kakori
political
martyrs
prisoner status.
inspired a new generation of revolutionaries, including Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev, and Rajguru. National unity. The
Inspiration for
incident
future
underscored the
revolutionary,
unity among revolutionaries from
including
diverse
Bhagat Singh,
religious and
Sukhdev,
regional
Rajguru के लिए.
backgrounds,
ठीक है?
with leaders like Ashfaqullah Khan and Ram Prasad Bismil
Kakori martyrs.
symbolizing the secular nature of the freedom struggle.
यूनिटी
Public
बढ़ा दी थी
awareness.
इसने.
The high-profile trial and subsequent executions garnered widespread
Circular
national
nature.
attention,
Public
exposing the
awareness बढ़ा
harshness
था.
of British rule and galvanizing public support for the revolutionary cause.
Harshness of
Shift towards
British
direct
rule.
action. It marked a critical shift in Indian independence movement, advocating that the struggle was not limited to non-violent protests, but also required direct action against British exploitation. Revolutionary spirit and legacy. The event demonstrated the bravery and ingenuity of Indian revolutionaries. It is remembered as a bold assertion of India's right to freedom and self-determination, embodying the spirit of sacrifice and resilience. Reorganization, HRA. In 1928, after the executions of its founders, HRA was reorganized into the Hindustan Socialist Republican Association, HSRA.
1928
About
में.
HRA and HSRA, Hindustan Republican Association,
अब देख लो.
HRA,
HRA देख के
founded
SSRA
in
देख के.
1924 by revolutionaries including Ram Prasad Bismil, Sachindra Nath Sanyal, Yogesh Chandra Chatterjee, among others. O basic principle: Federal Republic of the United States of India, based on universal suffrage. Or the organization drafted a constitution known as the Yellow Paper and published a manifesto titled Revolutionary in 1925, criticizing Mahatma Gandhi's non-violent methods and urged the youth to join the armed revolution
Yellow Paper निकाला
against
था
British
इन्होंने.
rule. It had branches and bomb manufacturing units in multiple
Revolutionary.
Indian cities.
Criticizing Mahatma Gandhi's
Hindustan
non-violent and urged
Socialist
you to
Republican
join the armed
Association,
revolution.
HSRA, O, founded in
ये
1928
इंपॉर्टेंट है कि
in
आर्म
Delhi's
रिवॉल्यूशन
Firoz
के
Shah
लिए फोर्स कर
Kotla.
रहे थे ये.
O emerged from HRA as the group's ideology shifted more explicitly towards socialism and Marxism.
ये तो
O, founded
1928
by
में आया था.
revolutionaries including Chandrasekhar Azad, Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev Thapar, Rajguru. O, basic principle: adoption of socialist
अब इसमें
principles
क्या हुआ
alongside the
कि
continued
जो
call
इनके
for
वो थे
Indian independence.
आइडियोलॉजीज वो
Conclusion:
शिफ्टेड टू सोशलिज्म एंड
the
मार्क्सिज्म.
Kakori train action
चंद्रशेखर
occupies a
आजाद, भगत
significant
सिंह,
place in the
सुखदेव,
trajectory of
राजगुरु अमंग
India's
अदर्स.
freedom movement, as it not only challenged the economic foundations of colonial
अब इनका क्या
exploitation,
था
but also
कि
highlighted
adoption,
the ideological and organizational shift towards revolutionary methods of
कंटिन्यूड कॉल फॉर
resistance.
इंडियन इंडिपेंडेंस एंड
It also
सोशलिस्टिक प्रिंसिपल
inspired
पे
subsequent
शिफ्ट करने की
revolutionary
बात हो रही थी.
organizations such as the HSRA and influenced figures like Bhagat Singh, thereby ensuring the continuity of armed struggle as a parallel strand to nonviolent resistance. 8.3 Gallantry Awards. Why in the news? President approved 127 Gallantry Awards, 40 Distinguished Service Awards on eve of 79th Independence Day. About Gallantry Awards. Objective: recognitions given for acts of bravery, valor, or self-sacrifice both during wartime and peacetime. Conferred by President, who is the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces Ministry. Ministry of Defense invites recommendations twice in a year from the Armed Forces and Union Ministry of Home Affairs for Gallantry Awards. Announced twice in a year.
Armed Forces and
First on
Union
occasion of
Ministry
Republic
Home
Day
Affairs.
and then on occasion of
Home Affairs,
Independence
not
Day.
Ministry of Defense
History of
invite
Gallantry
करती है.
Awards. O Paramvir Chakra, Mahavir Chakra. Veer Chakra. Instituted in January 26, 1950. Effective from August 15,
Announced twice in a year.
1947.
Gallantry Awards 2 बार होते
O
हैं.
Ashok Chakra.
एक रिपब्लिक डे
Class.
पे और दूसरी
First,
इंडिपेंडेंस डे पे. ठीक
Ashok
है.
Chakra Class Second. Ashok Chakra Class. Third. Instituted in 1952. Effective from August
परमवीर चक्र,
15,
महावीर चक्र, वीर
1947.
चक्र.
Renamed Ashok Chakra. Class First, Second, and Third were renamed as Ashok Chakra, Kirti Chakra, and Shaurya Chakra, respectively in January 1967.
1952 में आया था.
Benefits. The awardees receive monthly monetary allowance, travel concessions,
Ashok
and
Chakra.
other benefits. Types of Gallantry Awards,
Chakra,
criteria,
Kirti
and
Chakra,
benefits.
Shaurya Chakra.
Category, name, features, eligibility, wartime, for acts of gallantry in the presence of the enemy, whether of land or at sea or in the air. Paramvir Chakra, Mahavir Chakra, India's highest military
Paramveer,
decoration,
Mahavir और वीर
similar to
चक्र.
the British Victoria Cross, US Medal of Honor,
Highest
or
military
French
decoration
Legion of
similar to
Honor.
British Victoria
Second
Cross,
highest
US Medal
military
of Honor,
decoration in India.
and French
The
Legion of
naval,
Honor.
all military,
All
air,
ranks of Naval,
reserve,
Air Reserve,
and territorial
including medical
forces,
nursing staff,
including
under
medical
serving
and
under their
nursing
direction.
staff, and civilians serving under their direction.
Mahavir Chakra, second
Ranks
highest
of
military
Veer
decoration.
Chakra.
Third highest is Veer
Third
Chakra.
highest military decoration in India. Peacetime. Awarded
और
for
अगर अपन
valor,
कैटेगरी की
courageous
बात करें तो
action or
वॉर टाइम में फॉर
self-sacrifice away
एक्ट्स ऑफ
from the
गैलेंट्री
field
इन
of battle.
प्रेजेंस ऑफ एनिमी
Ashoka
वेदर ऑन
Chakra,
लैंड और एट
Kirti
सी.
Chakra,
वॉर टाइम में
Shaurya Chakra. Peacetime equivalent of the Paramvir Chakra. Peacetime equivalent of the Mahavir Chakra.
awarded for valor, courageous
Peacetime
action
equivalent of the Veer
away from the
Chakra.
field of
The
battle.
armed all forces and territorial forces, nursing services,
Ashok
police,
Chakra, Kirti
central
Chakra, Shaurya
paramilitary
Chakra.
forces,
So,
railway protection
ये
force,
भाई
and
इससे
civilian
आता है ये.
citizens. Ranks
इससे
of
आता है
reserve,
ये.
other distinguished service awards,
ठीक है.
Param Vishisht Seva
Peace
Medal
and equivalent
for
of
distinguished
Paramveer
service of the
Chakra.
most exceptional
All
order.
ranks. Peace and
RTI
equivalent Mahavir
Vishisht
Chakra.
Seva Medal
और
for
शौर्य चक्र
distinguished
is वीर
service of an
चक्र.
exceptional order.
ranks of सबको
Vishisht
मिलता है
Seva
ये.
Medal for distinguished
आर्म
service
फोर्सेस
of a high
रिजर्व एंड
order.
टेरिटोरियल फोर्सेस नर्सिंग.
Savotamud
पुलिस को भी मिलता है
Seva
ये.
Medal for
सेंट्रल
distinguished
पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस,
service of the
रेलवे
most
प्रोटेक्शन फोर्स.
exceptional order
यहाँ
during
पे नवाल मिलिट्री, एयर रिजर्व,
war/conflict/hostilities.
टेरिटोरियल फोर्स इंक्लूडिंग मेडिकल
Battalion
एंड
Seva Medal
नर्सिंग
for
सर्व
distinguished
सिविलियंस
service of an exceptional
अंडर
order
डायरेक्शंस.
during war/conflict/hostilities. Youth Seva Medal
सिविलियन
for
को भी मिल
distinguished
सकता है
service
यहाँ
of a high order during war/conflict/hostilities. Sena Now Sena Vayu Sena
पे. परम
Medal
विशिष्ट
awarded for
मेडल.
both, that is courageous acts, as well as Sena
और
Medal for
डिस्टिंग्विश्ड
devotion to
सर्विस के
duty.
लिए
8.4
मोस्ट एक्सेप्शनल
Commonwealth
ऑर्डर.
Games.
परम
Why
विशिष्ट.
in the news?
अति विशिष्ट और डिस्टिंग्विश्ड
Recently,
सर्विस ऑफ
Union
एक्सेप्शनल
Cabinet
ऑर्डर.
approved India's bid to host Commonwealth Games 2030, with proposed host city as Ahmedabad after the Indian Olympic Association's IOA's approval. About Commonwealth
उत्तम युद्ध
Games,
मेडल, युद्ध सेवा
CWG.
मेडल, सेना.
CWG is
ठीक
a
है.
multi-sport
तो
event
कॉमनवेल्थ
held
की
every
बात
4
करते हैं.
years among
कॉमनवेल्थ में
Commonwealth
क्या हो गया?
countries. First
यूएन
CWG
कैबिनेट ने
was
अप्रूव
held
कर
in
दिया इंडियाज
1930
टू
in
होल्ड
Hamilton,
2030 कॉमनवेल्थ
Canada,
गेम्स.
and 19th and 30
अहमदाबाद को
in Delhi
आफ्टर
in 2010.
द इंडियन ओलंपिक
Earlier
एसोसिएशन
names
अप्रूवल.
of CWG, British Empire
ठीक है.
Games,
अहमदाबाद
1930 to 1950, British and Commonwealth
4
Games,
साल पे होता है.
1954 to
पहला हुआ था
1964, British
1930
Commonwealth
हैमिल्टन
Games,
कनाडा में,
1970
and
to
19th दिल्ली
1974.
2010 में जो 19th इंडिया ने किया था.
About Commonwealth. Genesis. At the 1926 conference, Britain and the Dominions agreed that they were
Earlier
all
names
equal
इनके क्या
members
क्या
of a
थे?
community
British
within the
Empire
British
Games, British
Empire.
Commonwealth Games,
Oh,
British
they all
Commonwealth
owed
Games,
allegiance to the
74.
British king or queen, but the United Kingdom did not rule over them.
They were all equal members of community within the
Oh,
British Empire.
this community was called the British Commonwealth of Nations,
Allegiance to
or
British king
just
or
the
queen, but
Commonwealth.
United Kingdom did not own
Members.
rule over them.
56 countries, including India,
King
spread
George
across
VI
Africa,
पहले head
Asia,
थे.
Europe, the Americas, and the
British
Pacific.
Commonwealth of Nations or just
Our
Commonwealth?
last two countries to join the Commonwealth were Gabon and Togo in 2022. Our adoption of London Declaration, 1949, declared that republics in other countries could be part of the Commonwealth. Key organizations, or Board of Governors, all member governments are represented on the Commonwealth Secretariat Board of the Governors by their High Commissioners.
Commonwealth Secretary
or Commonwealth Secretariat, London, created in 1965 as a central intergovernmental organization to manage the Commonwealth's work. 8.5 News in Shorts 8 5.1 Vital Bhai Patel All India Speakers Conference commemorates the completion of 100 years of Vital Bhai Patel becoming the first elected Indian President of the Central Legislative Assembly, August 1925. About Vital Bhai Patel, 1873-1933.
नाडियाद गुजरात में born हुए थे.
Nadiad, Gujarat. He was the elder brother of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel
अच्छा.
and an eminent political leader,
सरदार पटेल के बड़े भाई थे.
lawyer, and social reformer. Key contributions.
विठल भाई पटेल.
Devoted himself to bringing about both social and political reforms to successfully fight for India's freedom. Became member of Bombay Legislative Council. Elected to the Imperial Legislative Council in 1918. Swaraj Party. Co-founded the Swaraj Party with Motilal Nehru and Chittaranjan Das in 1922. He served as the mayor of Bombay Municipal Corporation from 1923 till 1925.
Motilal Nehru and
8.
Chittaranjan
5.2
Mayor
National
of Bombay.
Film Awards 2023. Recently, the 71st National Film Awards were announced. About the National Film Award, Genesis. Established in 1954 by the Government of India. Presentation, conferred annually by the Honorable President of India. Award sections, features film, non-feature film, best writing on cinema, and Dada Saheb Phalke Award. Oh, Dada Saheb Phalke Award, the highest award in Indian cinema, awarded for outstanding contribution to its growth and development. Instituted in 1969 by the Government of India to commemorate Dada Saheb Phalke, who directed Raja Harishchandra, 1913, the first full-length Indian feature film. The award comprises a Swarna Kamal, Golden Lotus Medallion, a shawl, and a cash prize of Rs 10 lakh.
1916.
Categories.
Aala
It
Mara
includes
first
Best Feature Film,
silent
Best
film
Direction,
ठीक है?
Best Actor,
Aala Mara.
Best Actress, Best Cinematography, Best Screenplay, and Best Music Direction, etc.
ये भी याद कर लो. आला मारा
9.1 Trust in Public
Silent movie
Institutions.
भी है.
Introduction. In recent times, allegations of political misuse on several public institutions like Election Commission of India, Enforcement Directorate, Central Bureau of Investigation, etc., have raised concerns about erosion of trust in India's public institutions. The UN's World Social Report 2025 highlights a broad decline globally in institutional trust since the start of the 21st century. Today, over half of the global population has little or no trust in their government, says the UN report citing survey data collected between 1995 and 2022. What is meant by trust? OECD defines trust as a person's belief that another person or institution will act consistently with their expectation of positive behavior. Trust is a key component of the social contract, making it important for governance to be guided by a clear understanding of the nature of trust, along with deep insight into its drivers and consequences. Types of trust. Horizontal trust. Trust that members of an IA community have in each other. Vertical trust. Trust that members of a community have in the institution presiding over that community. Social trust. It is a generalized trust, which is not directed at specific people for a specific purpose. It is trust, confidence or faith in strangers, and reflects long-term optimism. Political trust. It is confidence in institutions and its actors. For example, the executive, legislative, judiciary, bureaucracy, police, media, private sector or business, NGOs, etc. Stakeholders and their interest in maintaining trust in public institutions. Stakeholder, interest, citizens. Efficient delivery of public services, public participation, higher levels of subjective well-being, increased happiness and longevity, democratic life, regime stability, government institutions and officials, proper policy making and implementation, ensuring legitimacy, policy compliance, effective law enforcement, smoother governance without excessive coercion, civil society media, interest in freedom of expression, advocacy for people's rights, private sector, predictable regulations, contract enforcement, fair competition, reduced corruption, business-friendly environment, encouraging entrepreneurship, reasons behind erosion of trust in public institutions, non-performance of administrative structures, e.g., poor service quality, lack of responsiveness, subjective and negative abuse of authority. Second, ARC. Widespread economic insecurity. Providing economic security is a key role of the state and its institutions and a foundation of the social contract. O. Economically insecure individuals, for example, lower income, less educated groups, report significantly lower institutional trust compared to more secure groups. Undesa. Political exclusion. Limited political influence among the marginalized sections hinders their ability to demand redistributive policies or improved services. Scandals and corruption. It undermines public trust by
ARC की
suggesting that
रिपोर्ट्स
public
डाल दो, ये बहुत
institutions
हेल्प
are
करती
not
है
acting in
आपको
the best
एथिक्स
interests
में.
of the people or the
ठीक है,
country.
सेकंड ARC
Disinformation
की
in social
खासकर.
media. Social media can emphasize institutional failures, real or perceived,
यस,
enable
एथिक्स में जब
sophisticated
आप आंसर
targeting
राइटिंग
of
करो, अभी यार
information
प्रैक्टिस ही
campaigns,
नहीं है इतनी अच्छी.
manipulate views,
लेकिन आपको
and
आंसर
affect
राइटिंग की
trust in the
प्रैक्टिस इतनी अच्छी
legitimacy of
करनी है कि
election
जब आप लिखो
outcomes.
मेंस में तो
Inefficient
ये जो
judicial
यूएनडीएसा
systems.
सेकंड
It
ARC है
impairs rule of law
और दो
and
तीन
hampers remedies
WTO
in
है
case of
ना,
grievances with
डिफरेंट
public
ऑर्गेनाइजेशन,
institutions.
इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, क्या
Major
बोल रखा
drivers
है,
of trust in public institutions.
इनके बारे में लिख दो.
Reliability,
IMF है,
responsiveness, competencies. Government ready to protect people's lives in the event of an emergency. Personal data shared with public
इंडिया के नेशनल
offices are
इंस्टीट्यूशंस है,
used
फॉर
for
एग्जांपल
legitimate purposes
इंस्टीट्यूशन
only.
ऑन वुमेन है, जेंडर
General
इक्वालिटी है,
satisfaction with
चाइल्ड
administrative
है,
services
इनके
and satisfaction
जो
with
थोड़े थोड़े
specific
वो हैं
aspects.
रिकमेंडेशन है, कैसा
Public
करो,
services
चार्ट
are
बना लो
improved
और
following
उस चार्ट
complaints
को
and
मतलब
public
एक दो
feedback.
पन्ने में खूब
Public
सारे फैक्ट्स लिख
institutions
लो और
adopt
जब आप यूज
innovative
करना
ideas
चाहो
to improve
फाइनली तो
public
खूब सारे
services.
रिकमेंडेशन याद कर लो.
Government draws on
जब
the
यूज
best
करने की
available
जरूरत पड़े
evidence for
3-4
decision
यूज कर
making.
लो एक आंसर में, आपका
Values,
आंसर उससे
transparency,
अच्छा हो जाएगा.
integrity, fairness, ease and availability of information about administrative services. Citizen participation and engagement opportunities in policy making. Government clearly explains impact of reform. Accountability between government branches, parliament, judiciary, executive. Public employees' consistent treatment of businesses and people regardless of their background and identity. Fair treatment in government services and benefits. Representation of needs of different regions and groups in parliament. Measures to rebuild improved trust in public institutions. Foster citizen engagement and participation, e.g. promoting open and inclusive policy making through measures like social audit. Consistent implementation and results. Improving citizens' experiences through day-to-day interactions in delivery of public services, e.g. direct benefit transfer. Promoting transparency and communication. Ensuring data used for policy making is accessible and openly verifiable, for example through government dashboards. Ensuring ethical governance, integrity of action, attention to equity, and focus on marginalized groups are critical for ethical behavior and the public trust. Independent anti-corruption mechanisms, e.g., Lokpal and Lokayukta Act, 2013 mandated the establishment of Lokpal at union level and Lokayukta at state level to deal with complaints relating to corruption against certain public functionaries. Strengthening. A harmonious and cooperative relationship between Parliament and the executive, along with independent judiciary, is key to building trust. Addressing misinformation and leveraging technology. Governments need to proactively tackle misinformation and disinformation by adoption of new governance models to ensure that information ecosystems support democratic debate and discussion, e.g., establishing fact-checking units, institutional frameworks. Conclusion. trust is integral to the functioning of any
Government is a
society.
trust and officers of the government are
Trust in
trustees, and
government
both
and
the
its
trust and the
institutions
trustees
is
are
a
created
necessary
for the benefit of
precondition for
people.
representative
Henry
democracy.
Clay.
The erosion of trust in government is thought to indicate the crisis of democracy, with direct and severe consequences for the quality and
ये
ability
क्वेश्चन
of
करके देखना,
representative
ठीक है?
democracy, its institutions, and its actors. Check your ethical aptitude. You are an honest IAS officer, recently appointed as the municipal commissioner of a rapidly
चलो
urbanizing
इसको करते
city
हैं सॉल्व, यहीं पे
struggling
सॉल्व
with
करते हैं.
inequality and weak infrastructure. Public trust in the municipal body is already low, as your predecessor was removed on corruption charges. Within days of your posting, a newly built flyover collapses during heavy rains in a low-income area, causing deaths, injuries, and destruction of homes and shops. The tragedy fuels deep public anger and distrust in institutions. The crisis is worsened by spread of misinformation on social media. Honest staff feel demoralized and unfairly blamed, slowing relief work. Meanwhile, social media narratives amplify the credibility crisis of the municipal administration. The State Chief Secretary directs you to act sensitively but firmly, ensuring both relief and restoration of public confidence. Based on the above narration of the case, answer the following. A. Identify ethical issues and dilemmas arise in this case, especially regarding institutional trust. B. What immediate and long-term steps would you take to manage the crisis and rebuild institutional credibility? C. Social media is being misused to spread disinformation. How would you leverage the same platform to engage positively with citizens and restore trust in the administration? 9 point.
ऐसा है, इसको करते हैं. सो क्वेश्चन है हमारे पास कि यू आर एन ऑनेस्ट IAS ऑफिसर, ठीक है, ये बोल दिया है. रिसेंटली अपॉइंटेड एज म्युनिसिपल कमिश्नर ऑफ अ रैपिडली अर्बनाइजिंग सिटी, स्ट्रगलिंग विद इनइक्वालिटी है एंड वीक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है. पब्लिक ट्रस्ट इन द म्युनिसिपल बॉडी इज ऑलरेडी लो. तो आपको ये भी बता रखा है कि जो पब्लिक ट्रस्ट है वहाँ पे वो ऑलरेडी हल्का है ना. पब्लिक ट्रस्ट इज ऑलरेडी लो. पब्लिक ट्रस्ट इज ऑलरेडी लो. अच्छा, जो गिवन कंडीशन है मैं आपको बताता हूँ. आप एक IAS ऑफिसर हो जो कि ऑनेस्ट है, ठीक है. दूसरा है म्युनिसिपल कमिश्नर ऑफ रैपिडली, ऐसा भी अपॉइंट किया. तीसरा रैपिडली अर्बनाइजिंग सिटी है. इनइक्वालिटी एंड वीक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. अच्छा, ये जो सिटी है ये ऑलरेडी सफ़र कर रही है वीक इनइक्वालिटी या वीक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के साथ. पब्लिक ट्रस्ट इन द म्युनिसिपल इज ऑलरेडी लो. पब्लिक ट्रस्ट ऑलरेडी लो है, तो ये चौथा पॉइंट है. एज योर प्रेडिसेसर वॉज रिमूव फ्रॉम करप्शन चार्जेस. प्रेडिसेसर वॉज रिमूव फ्रॉम करप्शन चार्जेस. तो ये पाँच गिवन पॉइंट्स है इसमें. Within days of your posting, a newly built flyover collapses during heavy rains in low income area. अब देखो हुआ क्या है, ये तो यहाँ पे गिवन है, ठीक है. अब मैं बताता हूँ what happened. So within days of your posting, newly built flyover collapses during heavy rains in low income area, causing deaths. ये कोलैप्स कर गया, तो उससे क्या हुआ कि डेथ, इंजरीज एंड डिस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ होम्स एंड शॉप्स. तो ये आपका दूसरा हो गया कि इसका उससे हुआ क्या. ट्रेजेडी फ्यूल्स डीप पब्लिक एंगर एंड डिस्ट्रेस इन पब्लिक इंस्टीट्यूशन, और उससे फ्यूल डीप पब्लिक एंगर एंड डिस्ट्रेस इन पब्लिक इंस्टीट्यूशन. ये आपका यू कैन से थर्ड पॉइंट हो गया. द क्राइसिस इज वर्सन बाय स्प्रेड ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन ऑन सोशल मीडिया. अब वर्सन बाय स्प्रेड ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन, मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन ऑन सोशल मीडिया, तो आप इसको कह सकते हो ये एक तरीके से फोर्थ हो गया, ठीक है. फोर्थ इफेक्ट. ना ऑनेस्ट स्टाफ फील डीमोरलाइज एंड अनफेयरली ब्लेम्ड, स्लोइंग रिलीफ वर्क. जो ऑनेस्ट वो डीमोरलाइज हो गया एंड अनफेयरली ब्लेम, उससे रिलीफ वर्क स्लो हो गया. तो पांचवा, क्योंकि डीमोरलाइज हो गए. मीनवाइल सोशल मीडिया नरेटिव्स एम्पलीफाई द क्रेडिबिलिटी क्राइसिस ऑफ म्युनिसिपल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. सो जो सोशल मीडिया है ऑब्वियसली वो अपना नरेटिव्स यहाँ पे एम्पलीफाई क्रेडिबिलिटी क्राइसिस, तो ये अपना 6 हो गया. ये हुए. Now State Chief Secretary directs you to act sensitively but firmly, ensuring both relief and restoration of public confidence. और आपसे मेजर लेने के लिए ये बोला गया है. यहाँ पे इसका कलर चेंज कर देते हैं. लेट्स से इसका कलर हमने कर दिया, समझने के लिए ग्रीन कर दिया है. तो यहाँ पे ये मेजर वाली बात है. अब यहाँ पे जो चीफ सेक्रेटरी है हमारे स्टेट का, वो बोल रहा है कि सेंसिटिवली फर्मली एक्ट करो, है ना, और इंश्योरिंग रिलीफ एंड रिस्टोरेशन ऑफ पब्लिक कॉन्फिडेंस. तो 2 चीज़ें हमसे बोली हैं चीफ सेक्रेटरी साहब ने, ठीक है. ये हमारी पूरी केस स्टडी आ गई है. अब हमें लिस्ट करना है इसके बाद कि what are the ethical issues and dilemmas arising in the case regarding institutional trust. ठीक है, ये अपन ने दे ही रखा है. Then what immediate and long term steps would you take to manage crisis and rebuild institutional credibility. ठीक है, स्टेप्स पूछ रखे हैं. फिर सोशल मीडिया इज बीइंग मिसयूज्ड टू स्प्रेड डिसइंफॉर्मेशन. यस, हाउ वुड यू लेवरेज द सेम प्लेटफॉर्म टू एंगेज पॉजिटिवली विद सिटीजंस एंड रिस्टोर ट्रस्ट इन एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. चलो एक एक को धीरे धीरे करके सॉल्व करते हैं. ठीक है, मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लेंगे लेकिन वी विल ट्राई. सो पहला करते हैं एथिकल इश्यूज एंड डिलेमास क्या हो सकते हैं. यहाँ पे एथिकल इश्यूज और डिलेमा क्या है. आपको ये बता दिया कि पब्लिक ट्रस्ट ऑलरेडी लो है ना, और इनइक्वालिटी है सिटी के अर्बनाइजिंग में, मतलब सिटी विद इनइक्वालिटी और वीक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है ना. प्रेडिसेसर को करप्शन के लिए हटाया गया, तो एक गवर्नमेंट की इमेज भी अच्छी नहीं है ना. डिलेमास अराइजिंग एथिकल इश्यूज एंड डिलेमास अराइजिंग इन दिस केस. सो एथिकल इशू है पब्लिक ट्रस्ट वर्सेस म्युनिसिपल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. ठीक है, पहला लिखते हैं. सबसे पहले यहाँ पे थोड़े बहुत अपन लिख देते हैं. देखो यहाँ पे है पब्लिक का जो ट्रस्ट है वो बहुत कम है. एथिकल इश्यूज की बात कर रहा है. पब्लिक ट्रस्ट वर्सेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल यू कैन से पब्लिक का ट्रस्ट है और ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल की फंक्शनिंग है. एक तो इस पे है ऑन क्वेश्चन, ये क्वेश्चन पे पहला मान लिया एथिकल इशू हो गया. दूसरा एथिकल इशू क्या हो सकता है यहाँ पे. एथिकल इशू दूसरी हो सकती है कि जो आपका न्यूली बिल्ड फ्लाईओवर है रेन वो कोलैप्स कर गया, डेथ हो गई है लोगों की. ट्रेजेडी, पब्लिक एंगर एंड डिस्ट्रस्ट आ गया इंस्टीट्यूशन में. सो बेसिकली एक एंगर एंड डिस्ट्रस्ट पब्लिक इंस्टीट्यूशन में है. प्रॉबिटी है ना, लॉस ऑफ प्रॉबिटी, मतलब प्रॉबिटी तो हमारी तरफ से है लेकिन जो पब्लिक इंस्टीट्यूशन में ट्रस्ट है, पब्लिक ट्रस्ट इंस्टीट्यूशन वो कम हो गया है. क्राइसिस वर्सन बाय स्प्रेड ऑफ मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन ऑन सोशल मीडिया. तो एक दूसरा जो एथिकल इशू आपको दिख रहा है मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन वर्सेस एथिकल नरेटिव. एथिकल नरेटिव ये मिसिंग है यहाँ पे, एक ये इशू है. तो ये दो कर दिया. और एक एथिकल इशू और हो सकता है. एक एथिकल इशू क्या हो सकता है कि लोग बहुत डीप एंगर में है ना, मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन स्प्रेड हो रही है, क्रेडिबिलिटी क्राइसिस आ गया है. सो सिंपल सी बात है, वही ट्रस्ट इशू आ गया है. सो वो तो है ही. करप्शन चार्जेस भी हैं और वीक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है. सो और क्या हो सकता है. ऑनेस्टी, प्रॉबिटी, सोचो वर्ड सोचो, सर्विस टू पब्लिक, मॉरल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट तो है नहीं यहाँ पे. और क्या हो सकता है. इंटेग्रिटी, ये तो ऑफिसर के साइड पे है. प्रॉबिटी, हाँ, मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन वर्सेस एथिकल नरेटिव, या फिर आप इसको ट्रांसपेरेंसी भी बोल सकते हो. ट्रांसपेरेंसी एब्सेंट है क्योंकि वीक मीडिया नरेटिव्स चल रहे हैं. और तीसरा है इंस्टीट्यूशनल ट्रस्ट तो है नहीं लोगों में, स्पेशली रिगार्डिंग इंस्टीट्यूशनल ट्रस्ट. अच्छा, इंस्टीट्यूशनल ट्रस्ट को लेकर के सो यहाँ पे सबसे पहले एक तो ये हो गया कि एंगर या फिर फ्रस्ट्रेशन, एक ये भी बहुत बड़ी दिक्कत है. वर्सेस मॉरल इंटीग्रिटी ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशन, है ना. इसको अपन ले सकते हैं मॉरल इंटीग्रिटी ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशन, या फिर आप कह सकते हो प्रॉबिटी क्यों प्रॉब्लम है यहाँ पे. प्रॉबिटी इसलिए प्रॉब्लम है क्योंकि डिस्करेज हो गए हैं यहाँ पे, डिस्करेज हो गए हैं जो हमारे ऑफिसर्स हैं, डिस्करेज हो गया स्टाफ, डिस्करेज स्टाफ है, डिस्करेज ड्यू टू वो सोशल मीडिया की वजह से, ठीक है। ये हो गया एथिकल इश्यूज। और डिलेमास अपने क्या है यहाँ पे, डिलेमास तो बहुत सारे हैं, ये जितने मैंने नीचे लिखे हैं ना, देखो डिलेमा में सबसे पहले आपको डिलेमा बताता हूँ। डिलेमा में हो गया है देयर इज कैजुअलिटीज़, डेथ्स, डैमेज, ये प्रॉब्लम आ रही है। इकोनॉमिक लॉस हो गया होगा, लॉस वर्सेस इंस्टीट्यूशनल सपोर्ट, है ना। और ट्रस्ट इन पब्लिक इंस्टीट्यूशन, सबसे बड़ा तो यही है, पब्लिक इंस्टीट्यूशन एंड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड ऑफिशियल्स, पब्लिक इंस्टीट्यूशन एंड ऑफिशियल्स पे ट्रस्ट इशू आ गया है, सबसे बड़ी बात है। इमीडिएट और लॉन्ग टर्म स्टेप्स आप क्या ले सकते हो, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है कि आप क्या इमीडिएट लॉन्ग टर्म स्टेप्स लोगे टू मैनेज अ क्राइसिस एंड रीबिल्ड इंस्टीट्यूशनल क्रेडिबिलिटी। सो आपको देखो सबसे पहले तो क्या करना पड़ेगा, सबसे पहले मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन को हटाना पड़ेगा, है ना। मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन, जो ऑनेस्ट मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन है उसको हटाना पड़ेगा, एलिमिनेट करना पड़ेगा। अब वो एलिमिनेट कैसे होगा, वो एलिमिनेट होगा प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस लेकर के, इमीडिएट प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस होनी चाहिए और रिलीफ वर्क चलते रहना चाहिए, है ना। कंटिन्यूस रिलीफ वर्क होते रहना चाहिए क्योंकि वो बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है ना। प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट शो करनी चाहिए, ठीक है। ये क्या सबसे पहले आपका ये जो करेगा, इट विल इंक्रीज पब्लिक ट्रस्ट, और उससे क्या होगा, मॉरल बूस्ट हो जाएगा, जो ऑफिसर्स हैं मॉरल बूस्ट हो जाएगा, है ना, जो काम कर रहे हैं उनका। फिर आप नेग्लिजेंस वाले जो जैसे करप्ट हैं प्रैक्टिसेस, उनको पब्लिक ट्रस्ट सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है इंस्टीट्यूशनल क्रेडिबिलिटी पे। सो इन्वेस्टिगेशन कराना पड़ेगा और जो आपके गड़बड़ कर रहे हैं अंदर लोग, उनको सस्पेंड करना पड़ेगा, सस्पेंशन ऑफ रॉन्ग डूअर्स, जो गलत काम कर रहे हैं या फिर इमोरल एक्ट्स जो हैं उसको एलिमिनेट करने के लिए सस्पेंशन करना पड़ेगा। ये भी पब्लिक इमेज बढ़ाएगा, है ना। और क्या कर सकते हो एज एन ऑफिसर, म्युनिसिपल स्टाफ और क्या कर सकता है, हाँ। फिर आप जैसे कोलैप्स कर गया, गरीब लोग थे ना, लो इनकम एरिया, ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है कि लो इनकम एरिया था, तो लो इनकम एरिया में आप जा कर के वहाँ पे इकोनॉमिक रिलीफ टू अफेक्टेड, फ्री मेडिकल एड एंड लॉस का कंपेंसेशन कर सकते हो, ठीक है। ये इमीडिएट पॉइंट पे किया जा सकता है, सस्पेंशन कर दिया, मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन को रोक दिया, इकोनॉमिक रिलीफ प्रोवाइड कर दिया, ठीक है। ये इंस्टीट्यूशनल क्रेडिबिलिटी लाएगा, 3-4 पॉइंट बहुत है ना। सोशल मीडिया इज बीइंग मिसयूज फॉर, हाउ वुड यू लेवरेज अ सेम प्लेटफॉर्म टू एंगेज पॉजिटिवली विद सिटीजन्स। सो आप क्या करोगे, वही पहला तो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस है, प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कराओगे, लोकल प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कराओगे या फिर मीडिया चैनल को बुलाओगे और उन प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करा के एक प्रॉपर गवर्नमेंट रूट के थ्रू इंफॉर्मेशन दोगे, पहला काम तो यही है। सेकेंडली आफ्टर डूइंग दैट, सोशल मीडिया हैंडल्स जो हैं, सोशल मीडिया हैंडल्स गवर्नमेंट के, उनको अपडेट करोगे, है ना। स्पेशल पोर्टल, स्पेशल यू कैन से वेबसाइट आप डेवलप कराओगे और उस पर अपडेट्स दोगे, तो ये आपकी क्रेडिबिलिटी और ट्रस्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में स्टोर करेगा, ठीक है, तो ऐसे है, ठीक है, ये बेसिक एक था, ऐसे समझ सकते हैं अपन। चलो, with this we can continue.
2. Ethics of Stray Dog Management. Introduction. Over 37 lakh dog bite cases were reported in 2024, according to the National Center for Disease Control, NCDC. The WHO notes that India accounts for 1/3 of global rabies deaths. Recently, the Supreme Court modified its SUO Motu order that had directed confinement of all stray dogs in Delhi NCR shelters. It ruled that dogs, once dewormed and vaccinated, should be released back to their original areas. These developments underline the need to balance stray dog protection with citizen safety concerns. Key stakeholders and invested interest. Stakeholders' residents, interest under Article 51(a)(g) of the Indian Constitution. Having compassion for living creatures is a fundamental duty of citizens. Community attitudes range from
India
supportive to
accounts
hostile,
1/3 of global
often
rabies
shaped by
death.
personal experiences with aggressive dogs or dog attacks. Residents may face safety risks, property damage, and health concerns. Children, elderly, etc. face disproportionate risks from stray
इसमें
dog
rule ये है कि
encounters
वापस से
due to
deworm
their
और vaccinate
inability to
करके
assess
वापस release कर
danger
दो इसलिए
or
एरिया में।
defend themselves effectively. Pet owners, government, and its agencies. Owners contribute to the problem through abandonment practices. They may also offer solutions through responsible pet ownership and support for stray management programs. Implementing vaccination, sterilization, and stray dog control measures while
Stray dog
addressing
बहुत न्यूज़
citizen
में था इस
complaints.
साल।
Municipal authorities bear constitutional responsibility under Article 243 W and 246 to manage stray populations and effective implementation of Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, PCA, Act 1960. National Center for Disease Control, NCDC, Ministry of Health Family Welfare, is implementing all necessary activities for rabies elimination in India by 2030. Each stakeholder ministry department has a defined role and set of responsibilities for rabies elimination under the National Action Plan for Dog-Mediated Rabies Elimination by 2030, NAPRI. Supreme Court Animal Welfare
अब
Organizations,
रेबीज को कौन करता है?
ensuring a
मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हेल्थ
balanced
एंड फैमिली
approach that
वेलफेयर, ऑब्वियसली
safeguards both public health
रेबीज
and
एलिमिनेशन
animal
बाय
rights.
2030,
Advocate for
नेशनल
rights-based
सेंटर फॉर
approaches to
डिसीज
stray dog
कंट्रोल,
management,
सुप्रीम कोर्ट
emphasizing
इंश्योरिंग बैलेंस
community-based
अप्रोच
care
सेफगार्ड्स
models,
बोथ पब्लिक हेल्थ एंड एनिमल
sterilization,
राइट्स।
vaccination, and feeding programs while opposing culling. Animal Welfare Board of India, AWBI, has published the revised Animal Birth Control, ABC, module for street dogs population management, rabies eradication, and reducing man-dog conflict. Ethical values in conflict in management of stray dogs. Compassion versus public safety. Feeding strays may keep them alive, but can also increase their population and territorial aggression. Animal rights versus human rights. The fundamental principle that every creature with a will to live has a right to live free from pain and suffering. Conflict with humans' legitimate rights to security, property protection, and freedom from fear in public spaces. Supreme Court, in Jallikattu Case 2014, has interpreted the right to life and liberty, Article 21, as extending to animals as well. Kant's deontology versus utilitarianism. Kant's categorical imperative demands treating all beings as ends in themselves, never merely as means. Forcible relocation or
Beings as
dumping of
ends in
strays
themselves,
violates
never
their dignity.
means. ठीक है,
This
ये।
perspective goes against utilitarian model that might sacrifice individual animals for human convenience. The non-maleficence dilemma. The medical principle of do no harm applies to both animals and humans, requiring solutions that minimize harm to all parties. Current approaches often fail this test by either harming animals through cruel control methods or humans through inadequate population management. The rights duties. Paradox. While animals don't bear legal duties, they still deserve rights, just like infants or the disabled, because of their vulnerability and sentience, not their utility. Ways for ethical management of stray dogs. The principle of beneficence. Active promotion of welfare for both animals and humans requires proactive, well-designed interventions rather than reactive measures. The Animal Birth Control ABC Rules 2023 represent an attempt to operationalize this principle through systematic sterilization and vaccination programs. the Netherlands imposed higher taxes on store-bought dogs to encourage shelter adoptions. Proportionality and graduated response. Responses to stray dog issues must be proportionate to actual risks while avoiding both inadequate action and excessive reaction. This principle demands evidence-based assessment of local situations rather than blanket policies or escalating interventions that begin with least harmful approaches. For example, after a spike in rabies cases in Delhi NCR, the Supreme Court ordered building shelters, moving strays, and ensuring professional handling, sterilization. Regular evaluation and adjustment based on outcomes for all affected parties. Virtue ethics. This approach focuses on cultivating virtues like compassion, responsibility, and wisdom in addressing the issue.
Compassion versus responsibility and wisdom in addressing the issue.
It emphasizes community engagement, education, and the development of sustainable practices that reflect moral excellence.
Community engagement,
Effective
education,
implementation
sustainable
of
practices that
National
reflect
Rabies
moral
Control
excellence.
Program.
Virtue ethics.
Under this, a phased plan is targeting Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities to prevent and control rabies. Surveillance mechanism is also being strengthened for rabies cases and animal bites. Empower local bodies and volunteers, RWAs, local authorities, and NGOs like VOSD should manage dog care. Those unable to help directly should support these efforts financially. Conclusion. Stray dog management is a complex problem requiring multi-stakeholder approach, including local governance bodies, communities, and animal rights activists, ultimately moving towards one health approach. Check your ethical aptitude. You are the municipal commissioner of a large Indian city that has recently reported a steep rise in dog bite cases and suspected rabies deaths. Animal welfare organizations are protesting against any form of relocation or culling of stray dogs. Meanwhile, residents are demanding immediate action to protect public safety. Media reports have intensified public fear, and there is pressure on you to act quickly.
ये भी हुआ है ऐसा.
On the basis of case, answer the following questions. What are the key ethical issues in this case? How would you balance public safety with animal rights? Suggest a humane and practical course of action that upholds constitutional and legal provisions. 10. Schemes in news. 10.1. Pradhan Mantri Viksit Bharat Rozgar Yojana. Why in the news? Recently, the Prime Minister announced Pradhan Mantri Viksit Bharat Rozgar Yojana to boost youth employment.
Ministry of Labour
Objectives.
Employment.
To facilitate
3.5 crore
employment
jobs
and skilling
over a period of 2
opportunities for
years.
youth. Promote
Support
job
to first-time
creation,
employees
enhance
and
employability,
incentives for
and expand
employers.
social security across sectors, specifically manufacturing. Salient
Implementation.
features,
EPFO करेगा.
Nodal
Ministry of
Ministry,
Labour Employment.
Ministry of
through
Labour
EPFO.
Employment, implementation
Under
by the Ministry of
ठीक है.
Labour Employment through Employees Provident Fund Organisation, EPFO.
1952.
EPFO, a statutory body under the
प्रधानमंत्री
Employees
उज्ज्वला
Provident
योजना
Funds
भी उसमें
Miscellaneous
है.
Provisions Act
क्या
of
करेगी?
1952.
LPG प्रोवाइड करेगी
Target
फैमिली बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन
3.5
के.
crore jobs,
Ministry
including
of
first-time
Petroleum and Natural
employees,
Gas.
over a period
Access
of
to
2
clean
years.
energy, mitigating health
The
risks,
scheme
indoor
has
air
2
pollution,
key
empowering
parts.
women or
Part
safe,
A,
clean,
support
efficient
to
alternative
first-time
cooking fuel.
employees. It targets
अब देखो,
first-time employees
central
registered
sector
with
scheme है और
Employees
ये वाली
Provident
scheme
Fund
जो है,
Organization, EPFO.
तो डायरेक्टली
Incentive,
प्रोवाइड ही कर
1
रही है.
month EPF wage up to hours
2016 में
15,000 in 2
8 crore
installments.
deposit LPG.
First
उज्ज्वला to
installment
launch
will
in
be
2021
payable after
additional
6 months of
1.6
service,
LPG connection
and the
to
second
PM
installment
scheme.
after 12 months of
75 lakh
service and
connection have been
completion
approved
of a financial
in
literacy
FY
program by the
23-24
employee.
with overall duct 10.35 LPG
Eligible
connection.
employees.
Implementation.
Employees with salaries
Oil
up to
marketing
hours 1
companies
lakh
जैसे
per month.
IOCL, HPCL
Encouraging
eligibility.
savings. A
Adult
portion
women
of incentive will be kept in a
at least 18
savings
years from
instrument
BPL families not
deposit
having LPG
account for a
connection
fixed
household
period.
satisfying either of the following
Payment
conditions.
mechanism,
Infographic.
DBT, direct
ठीक है?
benefit transfer, mode using Aadhaar bridge, payment system, ABPS,
अब इसको रोकते हैं.
benefits for the employee.
अब ऐसा करते हैं, एक बार प्लेसेस एंड न्यूज़ को फास्ट देख लेते हैं. इंडिया में क्या क्या न्यूज़ में है, लद्दाख न्यूज़ में है. तो यहाँ पे क्या हुआ है, जॉइंट समिट हुआ है. जॉइंट समिट सक्सेसफुली सबमिटेड माउंट मिराक 3 एंड माउंट कांगरी द हाईएस्ट पीक्स इन पेंगोंगसो रीजन लद्दाख के अंदर. सो इसरो लॉन्च्ड होप एनालॉग मिशन इन द सोकर वैली. फिर नेक्स्ट है लद्दाख उत्तराखंड में क्लाउड बस्ट हो गया है. क्लाउड बस्ट ओवर द खीर गंगा रिवर. खीर गंगा वो ट्रैक करते हैं ना, उसमें ट्रिब्यूटरी अलकनंदा रिवर में, ठीक है, अलकनंदा वही जो गंगा बनती है बाद में देवप्रयाग पे। लेड टू फ्लैश फ्लड्स इन उत्तरकाशी डिस्ट्रिक्ट, हाँ बहुत ज़्यादा फ्लैश फ्लड्स हो गए थे, इमेजेस आए थे ट्विटर पे एंड सो ऑन। सो उत्तरकाशी में बहुत तगड़े फ्लड हो गए थे, बहुत लोग मर गए थे इसमें, उत्तराखंड में क्लाउड बस्ट हुआ था। फिर जम्मू कश्मीर में दल लेक होस्टेड फर्स्ट एवर खेलो इंडिया वाटर गेम्स। सो खेलो इंडिया वाटर गेम्स दल लेक में हुआ है श्रीनगर में। नेक्स्ट वी टॉक अबाउट गुजरात में इंडिजिनसली बिल्ड ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन पावर प्लांट GHPP कमीशन एट कांडला पोर्ट पे इंडिजिनसली बिल्ड ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन पावर प्लांट को कमेंस कर दिया गया है, ठीक है। नाउ व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट उत्तर प्रदेश, सो यूपी में 100 एनिवर्सरी ऑफ ककोरी ट्रेन एक्शन अभी हमने पढ़ा था। देन केरला में क्या हुआ, बिकम्स फर्स्ट इंडियाज फर्स्ट 100% डिजिटली लिटरेट, ओके 100% डिजिटली लिटरेट स्टेट बन गया फर्स्ट, ठीक है, फर्स्ट इंडियन स्टेट। अब वर्ल्ड में वी हैव ओके बहुत सारी तो है, चलो वर्ल्ड की न्यूज़ देखते हैं। पहले नॉर्थ अमेरिका और साउथ अमेरिका साइड से देखते हैं। सबसे पहले वील टॉक अबाउट अलास्का में प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ US डोनाल्ड ट्रंप एंड रशिया मेट इन अलास्का रिगार्डिंग, जो पुतिन है, रिगार्डिंग सीज फायर एंड रशिया यूक्रेन वॉर। इट वॉज अ फॉर्मेलिटी, ये एक तरीके से फॉर्मेलिटी ही थी, उसके बाद कितनी ज़्यादा लड़ाई हो गई है ना, इट वॉज अ काइंड ऑफ फॉर्मेलिटी ओनली। देन वी टॉक अबाउट कनाडा में रिसेंटली कनाडा फेस्ड, और ये अलास्का पता होना चाहिए, ये सोवियत यूनियन से खरीदा था US ने, ठीक है। नाउ कनाडा फेस इट्स सेकेंड वर्स्ट वाइल्ड फायर सीजन ऑन रिकॉर्ड। सोवियत यूनियन से US ने खरीदा था अलास्का को, ठीक है, तो US का पार्ट है अलास्का। कनाडा फेस सेकेंड वर्स्ट वाइल्ड फायर सीजन ऑन रिकॉर्ड, कनाडा में वाइल्ड फायर आ गई। देन स्पेन, यूरोप के अंदर, सो यहाँ पे क्या हो गया, स्पेन में मैसिव वाइल्ड फायर्स अक्रॉस स्पेन दिस समर हैव बर्न 350,000 हेक्टेयर्स इन जस्ट 2 weeks ड्यूरिंग एन अर्ली अगस्त हीट वेव। अगस्त हीट वेव में 350,000 हेक्टेयर्स बर्न हो गया स्पेन के अंदर, ओके। देन वी मूव फॉरवर्ड टू फ्रांस, बगल में ही है, चलो फ्रांस देखते हैं क्योंकि ये मैप के अकॉर्डिंग बगल में ही है। सो फ्रांस देखो, फ्रांस में रिसेंटली सदर्न फ्रांस वॉज अफेक्टेड बाय वन ऑफ द लार्जेस्ट यहाँ पे वाइल्ड फायर हो गया, स्ट्रॉन्ग विंड्स, ड्राई वेजिटेशन एंड हॉट समर। लार्जेस्ट वाइल्ड फायर देखो स्पेन में, फ्रांस में, कनाडा में वाइल्ड फायर्स लग गई हैं, ठीक है। अल्जीरिया में क्या हुआ है, अल्जीरिया अफ्रीका का पार्ट है। सो अर्थक्वेक आया 5.8 मैग्नीट्यूड का अल्जीरिया के तबेसा प्रोविंस में। कौन से प्रोविंस इंपॉर्टेंट है, तबेसा प्रोविंस, ठीक है, ये आपके अल्जीरिया में आता है, याद रखना। देन ईस्टर आइलैंड कहाँ पर है, ईस्टर आइलैंड साउथ अमेरिका के वेस्ट में है। सो राइजिंग सी लेवल्स ड्यू टू क्लाइमेट चेंज कुड सबमर्ज कोस्टल एरियाज बाय 2080 थ्रेटनिंग मोआई एंड आर्कोलॉजिकल हेरिटेज। सो यहाँ पे जो मोआई और आर्कोलॉजिकल हेरिटेज है, क्लाइमेट चेंज की वजह से सी लेवल राइज होगा और उसे सबमर्ज होने का चैलेंज आ रहा है ईस्टर आइलैंड, ठीक है। नाउ मूविंग फॉरवर्ड टू लेबनन, नीचे वाले पे आ जाओ। लेबनन में क्या हुआ है, रिसेंटली यूनिसेफ हाईलाइटेड एक्यूट वाटर स्कैर्सिटी वाइल यूनिफिल UNIFIL रिपोर्टेड ऑनगोइंग इजरायली फायर अलोंग द ब्लू लाइन इन लेबनन। ब्लू लाइन वही है जहाँ से जो आपके सपोर्ट मिलता था ना, लेबनन और इजराइल का जो वो है जॉइन है, उसको हम बोलते हैं ब्लू लाइन। ब्लू लाइन आपको पता होगी, ब्लू लाइन है ये, अगर यहाँ पे लेबनन ऐसे बना हुआ है, लेबनन यहाँ पे इजराइल है, और उसमें ये UN ने डेजिग्नेट किया है इस ब्लू लाइन को, ठीक है। ये आप मैप देखोगे इजराइल का तो आप समझ जाओगे, ठीक है। नेक्स्ट इज यहाँ पे यूनिसेफ हाइलाइटेड एक्यूट वाटर स्कैर्सिटी इंपॉर्टेंट है, व्हाइल यूनिफिल रिपोर्टेड ऑनगोइंग इजरायली फायर अलोंग ब्लू लाइन इन लेबनन। नेक्स्ट इज वियतनाम एशिया का पार्ट है, एशिया में एशियान का पार्ट है टू बी मोर स्पेसिफिक। इंडिया वियतनाम होल्ड 6th हाई लेवल मीटिंग टू एनहांस मैरीटाइम कोऑपरेशन। 6 मैरीटाइम मीटिंग हुई है इंडिया वियतनाम में, ठीक है, बायलैटरल मीटिंग हुई है, हाई लेवल मीटिंग हुई है, बायलैटरल मीटिंग हुई है इंडिया वियतनाम की मैरीटाइम कॉरपोरेशन को लेकर। मैरीटाइम क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि साउथ चाइना सी इज अ इशू, और इंडिया भी वहाँ पे अपना नेकलेस ऑफ डायमंड्स को यूज़ करना चाहता है और चाइना को सराउंड करना चाहता है, उसको जो स्ट्रिंग ऑफ पर्ल्स है चाइना का, उसको अपोज करने के लिए, ठीक है। नाउ नेक्स्ट वी टॉक अबाउट दिस फिलीपींस। सो फिलीपींस में द फिलिपिन प्रेसिडेंट विजिट्स इंडिया मार्क्स 75th एनिवर्सरी ऑफ डिप्लोमेटिक टाइज. फिलीपींस के 75 ईयर्स हो गए इंडिया के साथ. 75th एनिवर्सरी ऑफ डिप्लोमेटिक टाइज बिटवीन फिलिपिन एंड इंडिया, बिटवीन द टू कंट्रीज. देन यू टॉक अबाउट फिजी आइलैंड्स. फिजी आइलैंड्स वन ऑफ द आइलैंड्स इन वही अपना पॉलिनेशिया और माइक्रोनेशिया वाले आइलैंड्स हैं ये. यहाँ पे क्या हो, इंडिया एंड फिजी हैव अनाउंस न्यू मेजर्स टू स्ट्रेंथन डिफेंस एंड मैरीटाइम सिक्योरिटी. कुछ नहीं, यहाँ पे भी बायलेटरल हुआ है. देन टुवालू में क्या हुआ है, टुवालू थ्रेटेंड बाय राइजिंग सी लेवल्स, साइन 2023 फलेपुरी यूनियन ट्रीटी विद ऑस्ट्रेलिया अलाउइंग 280 टुवालुअन्स एनुअली टू गेन परमानेंट रेजिडेंसी. ओके, यहाँ पे कोई फलेपुली क्या ये फलेपिली यूनियन ट्रीटी हुई है ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ टुवालू की. टुवालू यार वो वाली जगह है जो अपने पॉलिनेशिया और ये माइक्रोनेशियन आइलैंड्स हैं, तो ये डूब सकते हैं क्लाइमेट चेंज की वजह से. 2023 में फलेपिली यूनियन ट्रीटी ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ ज्वाइन की, जिसमें 280 टुवालुअन्स हर साल परमानेंट रेजिडेंसी गेन करेंगे ऑस्ट्रेलिया में. ठीक है, दिस इज टुवालू. देन वी टॉक अबाउट ऑस्ट्रेलिया. चीफ ऑस्ट्रेलियन आर्मी विजिट इंडिया. सो ऑस्ट्रेलियन आर्मी के जो चीफ है वो इंडिया विजिट किए. ठीक है, वेरी गुड. देन वी टॉक अबाउट टोंगा. अ पावरफुल अर्थक्वेक ऑफ 6.2 मैग्नीट्यूड हिट्स टोंगा. टोंगा इज इन अगेन यू कैन से उसी एरिया में आएगा, पॉलिनेशियन एरिया में आएगा, माइक्रोनेशियन एरिया में. माइक्रोनेशियन टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, पॉलिनेशियन थोड़ा पैसिफिक ओशन और यूएस के साइड में. ठीक है. Now let's talk about न्यूजीलैंड. सो न्यूजीलैंड में इनॉग्रल इंडिया न्यूजीलैंड डिफेंस स्ट्रेटजी डायलॉग held in New Delhi to discuss security perspective and further bolster bilateral cooperation. वापस से जो इंडिया न्यूजीलैंड डिफेंस स्ट्रेटजिक डायलॉग है वो नई दिल्ली में हुआ है, सिक्योरिटी पर्सपेक्टिव एंड फर्दर बोल्स्टर बायलैटरल कोऑपरेशंस. सो डिफेंस स्ट्रेटजिक डायलॉग यहाँ पे हुआ है. एंड विद दिस वी हैव कंप्लीटेड द मैगजीन ऑफ अगस्त. थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग. और जो मैप में एक ये आप ज़रूर देख लेना, जैसे मैंने बोला ना यहाँ पे बहुत सारे फिजी आइलैंड, टोंगा, टुवालू, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, न्यूजीलैंड, ये वाला बहुत न्यूज़ में है. तो अब मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप एज अ होमवर्क पॉलिनेशिया, माइक्रोनेशिया की जो आइलैंड नेशन है उसको मैप पे देखो, गूगल पे एक सर्च मार के. ठीक है, इमेज को एक बार ध्यान से देखो, पॉलिटिकल मैप और फिजिकल मैप उसका. ठीक है, ओके, बाय. वी विल मीट इन द नेक्स्ट वीडियो फॉर September magazine. Okay, have a good day.